Okay, so this is still Talkaoke. This is a pop-up talk show. We are talking about, well, we'll see what we're talking about. We're talking about glasses and eyesight and Vision Express versus Specsavers. Did that get that right? I mean, which one is it?
Vision Express for me.
Why? I mean, what is it? Oh, okay, we've got controversy, no? Are you agreeing?
No. Specsavers all day, man.
You need to justify your choice. I mean, you don't need to, but I'm just really curious. Guys, do you buy glasses? Do you use glasses? Come and join in this pop-up talk show, actually, if you don't mind. Currently, we're discussing Vision Express or Specsavers. Any views on this?
Well, Specsavers.
Specsavers or Vision Express? Which one do you prefer? Where do you get your glasses from?
I got it from... Where did I get it from? Cubit, from like King's Cross.
Right, is this some kind of designer shop? Because they look pretty designer.
It's a designer shop, glasses. But I got my last one was Specsaver, so I'll go for Specsaver
so
then.
You're reaching for Specsavers. What about yourself? You've got some shades there. I can see they're Ray-Bans, but...
Yep, last time I bought or went for an eye test, it was Specsavers. So.
Okay, so I should probably just say this is a pop-up talk show. This is Talkaoke, which means that people just sit around the table, talk to this microphone about whatever they want to talk about. Right now we're talking about eyesight. Obviously, your choices of shops. Specsavers is winning. I should just also say maybe we should do a round of names since we are kind of at the beginning. Okay, well, I'm going to start from here. What's your name?
Mikey.
Emir.
Vanessa.
Luis.
Roy.
Andrew.
And I'm Margot, and this is Talkaoke. So yeah, we can actually take it in any direction we want. I mean, Vanessa, you are slightly losing here with your Vision Express. I mean, like what? I mean, are you loyal to this brand?
No, I feel like it's just I'm quite a newbie, right? And I don't know, I was inclined to it, but maybe I'll change my mind eventually. Who knows?
Okay, I mean, what does it take to change your mind to kind of like steer away from kind of like tried and tested brands or the brands that stand out? I mean, what would it take for you to not go to Specsavers but go elsewhere? Power of advertising?
Well, for me, I want to go for circular glasses, and I don't think Specsaver does it. And also, there's clip-ons for these ones, and I don't really want to have like another pair of sunglasses just for that.
Okay, so for you, it's about very specific features. That's what you're looking for in your eyewear. I mean, what it is for you, Roy? I mean, like, how do you decide which glasses to wear? Is the shape got something to do with it?
I think in terms of the shop, it's convenience, and then probably the glasses themselves is how I feel at the time. Mm-hmm. What I think might look good, but it's been a while, so maybe I would go somewhere else next time.
Okay, I mean, that's really good to know. I mean, like, when do we also... That's one question that you made me think of. Like, when do we know it's time to change our style? When do we know that these glasses just won't do anymore, Mike?
Yeah, well, I think opticians isn't just about style. It's also about trying to see. And it's not just about who's got the best frames, but actually who's got the best glasses. And my eyesight's really, really bad, so I can't see. I'm wearing contact lenses, but I can't see that much. I'm actually the designated driver as well, which is a bit scary.
Right.
But, the thing about driving that people don't realise is most of the time the things you need to avoid are quite big, so you can generally see them.
Wing your way through it a bit.
When I was cycling earlier this week, on the way to the opticians, I did nearly hit a dog in the park because it was that kind of dappled sunlight, and it was on the sort of cycle path, and the dog was just sitting there, kind of completely camouflaged by this dappled sunlight, and I only saw it at the last minute.
Okay, thank you, Mikey, for this life story. I mean, like, how important is, are there any animals that you would really avoid hitting on the road? Hello, people, you are looking in a direction of a Talkaoke, which is a pop-up talk show, and you're welcome to rest your feet here, have a conversation. Do you wear glasses? Do you wear prescription glasses? That's what we were talking about. And is it Vision Express or is it Specsavers? Is it style over actual purpose? Acuity. Is it about difficult words that a host in the middle doesn't understand? What is it about? But yeah, and obviously there's a question which I'm personally interested in, but it's not about me. When do we know that the style has changed? When do we know we need to like update and upgrade our look? So that's kind of vaguely what we're talking about. So we can take it in whatever direction, or we can talk about Mikey's eyesight, of course. So that's it.
I've got a question. I know, Mikey, you said you're like -9 or -13. What does that mean? What is all this minuses?
All right. I mean, like. Obviously, Mikey, I would expect you to know. I mean, is it the kind of knowledge that everybody has around the table? Okay, do you guys know about this minuses, pluses?
Well, I don't really know too much about it, but the thing is, in Hong Kong, we have a slightly different way of measuring it. So mine is actually -400 in Hong Kong, but I think it's basically
Savage, okay.
No, but I think it's -4 in the UK. But I think that's how it is. But like
400.
Yeah, so it's 400. But I don't really know why it's positive. I think positive is when you're long-sighted, and then negative is short-sighted. I think that's the.
Okay, is this the consensus from the Vision Express crowd? Well, mostly Vanessa, actually.
No, I think it's just a universal thing, like it's just a well-known thing. But obviously, the higher the number, the worse. You know, and it gets worse eventually over time. So there you go. Started off at like 0.5, now it's at 2. You know, who knows where it goes? So we're looking at a laser surgery.
Right. So I mean, if you were living in Hong Kong. You'd be like minus, I don't know, a million. I don't know. How would you feel about that? So actually,
I don't know. I feel like I'm quite good now because like I can function without them. It's just like a bit of a headache, right? Like you don't see that clearly. But for like Amir or Mikey, I don't know what I'd do. To be fair, like being dependent on it that badly, like, you know what I mean? Like when you walk out and you forgot your lenses or glasses, it's over. So I don't know. But
okay.
Yeah.
Amir.
Yeah. So what
you can grab the mic also as well. You can.
So what you'll notice if someone's minus, the way their glass is set up, it will go inwards. But if they're plus, it will be facing outwards. So it will go outside of the lens, and so obviously if you're like +7 or whatever, it'll be a bit more thicker on the outside. But if I'm -9, so obviously I can only pick certain frames. So it's not even about practicality anymore. It's just whatever fits this horrible eyesight. So yeah.
Right. I mean, these people are kind of looking curiously there by the river. This is a pop-up talk show, and this is a sign you have been looking for, probably. But that also depends what your eyesight is like. Okay. So I mean, this is really interesting because we just talking about eyesight. Mikey, you've got something burning that you wish to
No, just because you mentioned... Sorry, what's your name? Andrew said he was from Hong Kong. And I just wondered, obviously you hear a lot about Hong Kong in the news. Is it kind of well represented? Because it seems like everyone's completely having protests all the time and getting sprayed blue paint by the police. Is that a fair representation of what Hong Kong's like, or is it a bit more kind of chilled out than that?
I mean, right now the political landscape is quite unstable. I guess. I mean, normally, right now, normal days, obviously, it's not going to be like full-on protests every day, but it's been going on for the last few years, and I mean, it's still in the conversation about what's going to happen. I mean, the future, unfortunately, is not looking bright. A lot of my friends are considering moving abroad because of the whole democracy issue, the discussion. But I guess the image you see in the news are when things actually start happening, and I think it is real in the sense that that actually happened, and I think it's good that people can see what's happening at that. But yeah, it's not like that every day, I can say.
I mean, like, out of curiosity, do people generally know what's happening in Hong Kong right now? Amir, can you just Vanessa? Well, and maybe really, Andrew can add to it.
Yeah, I feel like Andrew should set the tone, but I genuinely, when I sometimes read this stuff, this is the thing, how represented is it? Is it really that bad, day to day, or is it just a bit exaggerated? Who knows? Because nowadays we don't know what's just to attract someone's attention and what is actually happening in the streets of Hong Kong. I don't know. So yeah, maybe you can say what it's actually like.
Okay.
So I actually haven't been back for 5 years. So, but the protest happened in 2019 when a lot of people actually went out to the street and protest. And for a few months it is like that. You have loads of people in the street. Completely packed, protests almost every day. You have tear gas, you have situations of kind of police brutality, beating up protesters. You have kind of I guess gangs happening, beating people up in the tube stations as well. So in 2019, like all those images you've seen, like is pretty much what's happening that time. But yeah, like nowadays, it's just that I think there are a lot of different the whole COVID. China's adopting that zero COVID situation, and that's happening in Hong Kong as well. So a lot of people being kept in the flat. So yeah, I guess you don't really see that as much nowadays.
Okay, so there's also a question of how is the news actually being reported? Do people know about this, or are they a bit short-sighted about what's actually going on?
I'm just wondering, are they still doing that? They're still saying zero COVID and keeping people under lockdown? Because we're kind of over it now, aren't we, in the UK? So, yeah.
Okay, so so there's a question of whether COVID is actually over. Is it over in Hong Kong? Is it over in China? Is it something like a repression measure? And for this lady just looking there, come and join this pop-up talk show. We're just talking about stuff, talking about Hong Kong, talking about democracy, but also we're talking about Specsavers versus Vision Express. So can I just get your thoughts on that?
Well, I just went to Specsavers.
Oh.
2 days ago, and you book an appointment, and you're waiting for over an hour. So that's what I say about Specsavers.
Okay, is an hour? I mean, does that kind of free up your time, like in a way that you can? Oh, great! I've got an hour that can go and get a coffee, go for a little walk.
I would rather just get it over and done with.
Like instantly. Okay, well, this is Pop-Up Talk Show. What's your name? I'm Margot.
I'm Sarah. I'm from Well Ones.
Oh, welcome, Sarah from Well One. We've got Amir, we've got Vanessa, we've got Larice, we've got Roy, we've got Andrew and Lara on the visuals. Earlier, as you can see, and Mikey obviously over here, we have been talking about eyesight and eye health. Apparently, in Hong Kong, if you've got a problem with your eyes, the measurements are pretty.
It's quite a factor, basically.
Yeah.
It will be minus 400 for me.
Okay.
But
so
I think that's
really
minus 4 here, so that's the exchange.
Yeah, we were kind of talking about perspectives from different countries, but kind of like sticking with Hong Kong for a little bit. But we were talking also about about impact of eyesight and driving, Mikey.
Well, I'm just wondering, does
and
anyone
dogs on the road? Has the dog on it.
Yeah, I nearly hit a dog because my glasses are broken.
But this is Isle of Dogs, so I guess
it's the Isle of
dogs maybe here?
People, I don't know if there's a lot of dogs here or if there's a lot of dog loving here.
Right.
Why it's called the Isle of Dogs.
Let's find out.
But yeah, my glasses are broken. That's why I nearly hit the dog.
Well, just,
and that's
the
why we started off all of this.
I think a record is broke as well. A little bit.
Sorry. My question was: it seems like everyone around the table has got is short-sighted, apart from Larice. So, is that
Ahead
just
of the
normal, or
pack.
is it normal to have that many short-sighted people?
Does anybody have any views on this? And also, I should say, we are in Isle of Dogs. It is Isle of Dogs. There's stuff happening here. Are you guys from Isle of Dogs, just out of curiosity, just passing through?
No, I'm living in Battersea right now.
Right, okay.
Passing through. I live in Finsbury Park.
Okay, what brings you here? Sorry, I'm just really curious. What brings you here on a lovely day like today?
The weather. Not really spent much time here before, so just walking around, getting to know the place a bit more.
What are kind of initial thoughts about Isle of Dogs for you?
It's fun. I mean, I came into Canary Wharf, so coming from there, you go through patches where it's quite quiet. But I guess that's nice if you're exploring, because then you turn the corner and you find something like this. So, and the view over the Thames. So that was very nice.
Okay, river. Yeah. Go on, Andrew, if you want to add something.
I think it's quite a weird area. We were just discussing about there's different types of buildings being built in different periods of the last 2 decades, really. So you can actually see different almost style of architecture.
Development of the area.
Yeah.
So I mean, here's a question to everybody passing through there. This is a pop-up talk show, and we're talking about, is Isle of Dogs weird? Is this area a bit weird in your view? Do you have any views? No. She's saying no. She's shaking her head. No. Okay, you're welcome to join. Hello. We're talking about eyesight health. We're talking about Isle of Dogs. Is it because people love dogs here in general? Is the area a bit changing? Is it different bit around every corner? Is the area a bit weird? What's going on in Isle of Dogs?
I got 2 points really. I do think people on the island love dogs. Also, I do think the Isle of Dogs is a bit weird in that of recent, there's a lot of disparity because you've obviously got Canary Wharf, it's really built up. A lot of professionals, a lot of really expensive luxury flats. But like here specifically, got like council estates, you've got council houses. So it's like, whoa, you've got like really fancy, really rich next to council estate. So yeah.
Okay, so is there disparity? I mean, is anyone kind of familiar with this area? I mean, can anyone comment on this disparity, be it here or anywhere where you live, Mikey?
It is that I don't live here, but I work very close to here, and it is a very weird space, definitely, for the things that Larisse said, but also because it's just a weird sort of layout as well, because it is really an island. And then there's islands between us. So I cycle around. So this is, as a cyclist, the Isle of Dogs goes somewhere. But for anyone else, if you're driving a car, it's just like a big cul-de-sac, a giant cul-de-sac. But you can get to Greenwich through the Isle of Dogs. So you cycle to the end. But it's very weird to cycle because you have to go around the edge, because if you go around the middle, it's all docks and stuff like that.
I mean, I do wonder, because one of the things that we were going to talk about today, but we're kind of slightly building up to it, is activities. Sarah, are you coming? Okay. Can you give us your final thought before you go? You can come back, obviously, and then you can give us another thought.
About the Isle of Dogs? I don't know the area. It is very different. It's very like two sides. So I don't know if it's weird. I haven't seen enough to comment on its weirdness, really.
Yeah.
So,
is weird necessarily bad? Can something be good weird?
Yeah, it can. I don't know. I think it's good to have a mixture of people, but I do worry that some people get pushed out of their area to make way for the sort of richer people, basically. So that's not a good thing, really.
No.
I think it's maybe good if everyone can mix together a bit more.
And well, I mean, where are you based ordinarily?
I'm down in Newham, and it's pretty much the same down there. Like there's each side of the docks. There's like one side. They're very different. They're polar opposites each side of the docks. So.
I mean, is there anything kind of any tips from Newham that you think could work here? And by the way, there's a man over there, but I'll speak to him later. Yeah.
I actually think Tower Hamlets does sort of community stuff better than Newham. There's a lot more in Tower Hamlets than there is in Newham. So I think if anything, Newham can probably learn from Tower Hamlets.
Okay, so it could be a bit of a skill share. Can I just before you go, can you just give us a little bit of background on what's going on here today? Because I think you're connected to it somehow.
Summer of Wellbeing festivals. There's 9 different festivals happening throughout Tower Hamlets, and the idea was to, we've been in lockdown for a long time, the previous years, and a lot of people haven't been going to health places, and people's health has deteriorated and sort of gone downhill a little bit. And the idea was to bring health services to the people, and particularly to come to places where there are like tower blocks and estates and stuff like that, but then also to have a bit of fun as well, and have fun stuff for the kids to do while the parents go around and get some health advice and support, basically.
Okay, so this is kind of what's happening here. Well, thank you for stopping by. And any questions to the table? Okay, you're the social media guru. Well, you can tag us at The People Speak on Instagram with an underscore. See you later, Sarah. Have a good one. Thank you. So this is kind of what's happening here. Did you guys know about this? Was that well advertised to you, or was it just a chance encounter today?
No, it's a chance.
Yeah.
We were just walking around and saw something happening around the park, so...
Okay, so that kind of drew you in. Okay, I mean, meanwhile, Laura has changed her visualization, so this is a kind of a place to meet dogs, hang out with dogs, but also as a place of disparity. I don't know how, kind of where on this kind of ladder of prosperity these dogs are. They look pretty good to me, but maybe it's just a perception. I don't know, Mikey?
Yeah, I mean, I personally think it is good weird. Do you know what I mean? It is good weird, Isle of Dogs. But maybe they should make more out of the dog thing and have like a dog show here. I think they should definitely do more with the dogs thing.
So do you think that would bring people out? I mean, like, what do people think about this whole thing about COVID, after COVID? I mean, we've been talking about COVID a little bit in the context of China/Hong Kong, but I mean, are people really kind of still recovering from it, or is it Have we just really moved on? Has that impacted? Do you feel like your health has been impacted by not doing very much during lockdown? I'm assuming maybe you've done loads. I've no idea. Are you guys? What have you been doing kind of over lockdown? Do you even remember lockdown? Do you remember what that was about?
Yeah, I think we're finally gone through that transition phase where we're kind of over COVID, I'd say. You're kind of going back to your day-to-day lives. I think the positives are that a lot you can work from home now, which I think is a transition that's kind of more comfortable, kind of getting that work-life balance kind of through. And I think even with COVID, it felt like when we kept going through more and more lockdowns, every time they're like, okay, we're going back into lockdown now, we kind of felt like we're never going to get over that phase. So I'm kind of glad we're kind of past that now, kind of go back to, you don't even see much people wearing masks anymore and stuff like that, so yeah.
Okay, and what kept you? I mean, what kept you active during lockdown? Anything, or you just kind of worked from home? So it's like finger exercises, typing.
I mean, it was quite nice because I think the world took a pause for a second. Everyone got put on furlough. You kind of worked from home if you had to, but you kind of stepped back for the first time in our lives. And I felt like I could play games all day, or sit with my family all day, or exercise the way I wanted to without much restriction. Kind of you had time, and you didn't feel like it was running out for the first time, which was quite nice.
Okay, so do we feel the time is running out now? I mean, are we more kind of like time pressured to do things or not do things? I don't know. I'm just kind of opening up to everyone, but Mike.
What I just wanted to say about lockdown is I think people stopped socialising, and that's the thing I noticed as well amongst my friends. I used to go out every night and meet people, not necessarily, drink but go to people's houses, have dinner, or just
during
meet people. No, after lockdown.
Sorry.
Obviously, I didn't do that during lockdown. I wouldn't do that.
I was going to say.
But before lockdown, and then I don't think that's come back. A lot of people have got kind of used to just sitting on their sofa, just watching Netflix.
I mean, there are some people watching what is going on here, and this is a pop-up talk show, and you are welcome to join it. You can come in, say anything you want about anything you want. We're talking about what keeps people active, what kept you active during lockdown. Is socialising something that you do now more than you have done before? We were talking about all sorts of things, but so for you, Mikey, it was back to socialising. That got you out of the house a bit.
Definitely, I'm a very social person, but what I'm saying is a lot of my friends have just stopped socialising, and they just have got comfortable, just sitting at home, not really organising anything themselves. Or they say, they always say, "Oh, I'll come and do," and then there's like, "Oh, I've got a bit of a sniffle," or something like that, or so I can't come because I met somebody on Tuesday that had a sore throat. Therefore, I can't come to you. So people are just making excuses and then not coming back out again.
Right. So has COVID made you more kind of excuse prone to going out? I mean, are you that kind of person? I mean, are you? Do you just go, yeah, sure, I'll go out, or are you a bit more cautious now, Andrew?
Actually, I think I got a bit more sociable after lockdown, because turns out I'm the only one that's in my friend group that's organising things. So yeah, so like I'm trying to organise football, I'm trying to organise like going bouldering and stuff like that. But I think like most of my friends start flaking a little bit more. Like some friends I haven't seen for almost a year, even though before that we used to meet up for like every month and stuff.
Okay, so maybe every kind of friends group needs an Andrew person. Type of
I think we need more than one, because I'm getting quite tired doing like most of the organising. But if it's like 2 or 3 people like that is constantly doing stuff, that will be good. Like, but yeah.
Okay, so what about other people around the table? I mean, like, are you in your friends group of friends? Are you the organizer? Are you the organisee? Larice, you are shaking your head. Which one are you?
I am the one that turns up. I don't organise. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, where is this choice coming from? Is it a choice? Is it a personality thing? What is it?
Yeah. I don't really like to initiate and organise. I think because my job entails organising things and events and stuff. I think maybe that's why. Maybe I do that.
Mm-hmm. What kinds of events are you organising? Is it football? Is it, did you say bouldering? Yeah, bouldering. No idea what that is, but you can explain in a sec.
All different kind of stuff, performative pieces, community stuff. It depends as and when. But yeah, I think maybe that's why.
Okay, so I mean, like from your kind of organizing events point of view, I'm just like really curious. I mean, do people kind of go out and get involved? Do people treat it as a form of activity or exercise? I mean, is it possible to consider events as such thing?
Consider events as
Some kind of activity. I don't know, like a way to be active. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, my friends love a good party, love a good dance. So that's definitely
Right.
exercise. So
Okay.
yeah. Yes.
Okay,
yes,
so
yes.
maybe we should just have a massive party regularly,
Yeah,
all the time,
just a rave.
every weekend,
Every
which is
other
kind
week,
of what we're
so right.
doing with our series of Talkaoke. Thank you, Larice, and I will want to find out about bouldering. Yes, Amir.
Yeah, no, I was very similar to Andrew in terms of like I used to always organise and everything like that. I got sick of it to the point where I just burnt out. I felt like I wasn't bothered to do it, so I just made a big group chat with all my friends. I said, "I'm going here. If you want to join me, feel free. I'm going regardless."
And how is that going as a
Yeah,
kind
it
of
was
like?
much more better. People are more responsive to that. Like, you know what, we don't want to miss out on this. Like, I've done bouldering before as well, which is a really fun thing to
Can
do.
you explain what that is?
It's similar to rock climbing, but without the harnesses, and kind of,
Okay.
yeah, in that kind of sense. But yeah, no, it's really good fun. I mean, I was progressing before lockdown, but then kind of got a bit bored of it. But then I'm kind of getting back into it. So it's a bit of a, you know, a bit of a shaking.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it's definitely good fun to try.
Fine. So maybe like so organize your friends, but not too much. Don't burn out organizing friends, because you will burn out. I think is the vibe. Larice, and then I would want to know, Vanessa, if you are an organizer or organisee.
I've got a question. Sorry,
Yeah.
I've forgotten your name. Amir, it was kind of interesting you said, you know, I put in a group chat and, you know, if you want to come, you can come and we're going to go regardless. What are people's thoughts on doing things alone? And that kind of stigma of like, oh, I got to do everything with someone. So yeah.
Okay, so is there a stigma about spending time on your own? Does that mean that you're just a sad person spending time on your own? Or actually, it's fine. I can just, I'm my best, what's the saying? I'm my own best company. How do people feel about this? And to gentlemen over there, this is a pop-up talk show. Do you like spending time in a group, in an organised way, or do you like to spend time on your own? Which one is it for you guys? You like going out with people or on your own?
Okay.
On your own. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Point taken. But if you'd like to join this pop-up talk show, it is obviously available. You had your hand up. Somebody had a hand up, but I completely just...
When I was a teenager, I used to spend a lot of time on my own and go cycling around. I think that's because I lived in Gravesend, and around there, not really, there just weren't people.
Gravesend, where's that?
That's right down. You can follow this river until it gets really wide, and then you're in Gravesend. So I used to just go out cycling all around Kent
Right.
by myself.
Okay. So the thing that we're discussing right now, and you can come and join us if you wish. This is a Talkaoke pop-up talk show. We're talking about all sorts. I'll just do a quick recap for you. We actually have a sound effect for that. We're talking about eyesight, exercise organised by friends, but friends who do organise things, they burn out. They've had enough. Andrew had enough. Amir had enough. And is it actually really lame to spend time on your own, asks Larice. Not in those terms, but kind of, I'm paraphrasing. Or, and gentlemen over there, this is a pop-up talk show. Do you like spending time on your own or in group activities? On your own? Yeah, you sir. You can come and join. I can't actually hear you. What? Oh, groups, fantastic. That's groups. Group, a man on the river. So that's kind of where we are. I will let you have this kind of sip of water, but meanwhile, I'm just going to do a quick check of names, and by the, Amir, Vanessa, Larice, Laura on visuals, Roy, Andrew, Mikey, and I'm Margaret. This is Talkaoke. What's your name?
Rosa.
Rosa, welcome, Rosa. So this is kind of what we're discussing. Are you a person who organises things, or you like to be organised in terms of going out with friends?
I'm the organiser.
You're the right. So this is like a very proactive table. Okay, right. So what's your experience of organising people? It's not a job interview, don't worry.
I suppose it's my job, and it's also what I do with my mates. Yeah. At the moment, I'm organising a big event for work and my 30th birthday party, so there's a lot of organising happening.
Okay, well, funnily enough, we have been talking about parties and dancing as a way of keeping active. So maybe it's a really good combination, actually. There.
Why would you organise an event that's happening in 5 years' time? I just don't get that. That's a bit. Seems to be doing it a bit too far in advance. But my question is,
You have to really think about it. Give it time. You got that now. Okay, everybody got this now. Okay, Mike, you need to workshop your jokes a bit, but that's okay.
no, I like a slow burner. You know, slow burner's okay. Though what I was going to say is, as an organizer of events, that's what I'm finding is that people are flaking out all the time.
Yeah.
Post-COVID, people say they're going to come, and then they don't actually come. And they come, as I said, they come up with these excuses like, you know, I met my, my cousin who, went out and somebody had a sore throat 10 days ago, therefore I'm not going to come, or something like that, or I need to meet my grandmother in a week's time and I don't want to get COVID, so therefore I'm not going to come. And I just feel it is an excuse. I mean, not that I'm against, I do believe COVID is a real thing, but I feel like now people are just using it as an excuse to not turn up to things because it's just more comfortable to sit on a sofa and watch Netflix.
Right. I mean, is it more comfortable to watch Netflix than get out of the house? I mean, like, what is the best excuse that you've ever made for not going to an organised activity or meeting your friends? And a question over there to the ladies walking past. Hello, welcome. This is Pop-Up Talk Show. Come and join us. We're just discussing how do you spend your free time? Do you spend it on your own or with other people? Or with your mum? Fantastic. Bring your mum. Mum is coming. Welcome. So we've got mum, obviously. We've got... I'll get your name. And sir, obviously, come and join us too. Why not? I mean, what's the worst that can happen? We're just having a chit-chat, really. The question is, come and join us. This is Talkaoke. Gentlemen, obviously, as well. Grab a seat. So I will just tell you exactly what's happening here. Everybody was just talking about, are we making too many excuses for not going out after COVID? Have you made any excuses like that recently? Is it, yeah?
I've always been out with COVID. I'm a healthcare officer. I've been in the thick of it and in the end of it.
Okay. So what is your experience kind of now? I mean, like, what's it like for people to kind of coming out and socializing?
Because now I'm able to bring my mum out, whereas before I was sort of too scared to bring her out just in case she got COVID. But she did get COVID and she managed quite well.
That's really good. So that's a round of applause. I will just quickly do a recap of names for you because you don't know anyone. What's your name?
My name is Vivian.
Vivian. And
Mum, what's your name?
Catherine and Vivian. We've got Roy, Andrew, Mikey, Rosa, Amir, Vanessa, Larice, and Margot. And Laura is doing visualizations. So now and then you'll see the kind of screen changing. Okay, so this is it. We've been talking about activities. Organising parties is a good one, people said on the table. Making excuses is another one. Was the biggest excuse that you've made not to go out or go somewhere? Amir?
I mean, even though I've just graduated and I'm 21, the best excuse is I just say my mum doesn't let me go out, and kind of everyone. And eventually, your friends can't question that kind of line, or just say I need to help my mum with something, and no one can really, they can't really say what, kind of.
Okay. So if you implicate your mum into it, have you used that excuse? I mean,
I don't think mum don't want you to go out. I think mum is scared of what you do when you go out and the way things are. Because I've got two boys myself, but they're past your age, 21, they're 40s, and I think I would feel the same because you're just worried about your children. And now it's even worse. At least I'm lucky my two boys was okay, but so I can see your mum's point of view, so don't be too harsh on your mum.
Okay, so is it safe? Rosa, are you going? I'm going to get your final thoughts in just 1 second, but I'll just let these ladies know. Hello, this is a pop-up talk show, just talking about, have you ever used your mum as an excuse for not doing something? Oh, sorry, my mum is not letting me. Yes, she's saying yes. Come and tell us about it. And tell us what you're doing here today. What is that in your hand? Come and join this pop-up talk show. Vivian, you're going to go? Okay, fine. Fine. Do you have a final thought before you go? And Rosa, I'll come to you.
Oh, sorry.
Do you have a final thought that you'd like to leave us with? Or a question to the table? Hello, come and welcome.
Let's all try and work together and be happy and help each other, and that's all we can say.
Okay.
Things are.
And you work in Isle of Dogs? Are you from Isle of Dogs? Fantastic. Grab a seat.
I work in healthcare.
Okay. And what's your kind of insight into healthcare right now? Is Isle of Dogs a healthy place? Active place?
I'm not sure. It's difficult to say. Everywhere is just having the same pinch as Isle of Dogs, I think, in terms of healthcare and.
Yeah.
You get so much promises to help, but it's not there.
Okay, so promises, yeah.
Promises that does not fulfilled.
Okay, so maybe Isle of Dogs needs to get a little bit better with promises. Just keep your promises. And Rosa, I promised you the microphone. Are you going?
I am, I'm afraid.
Where are you off to?
I'm off to promote the thing I'm organising.
Oh, your 30th birthday. Well, we'll come.
Well,
don't worry.
not the 30th.
All right.
Next weekend,
Oh,
River
damn.
Festival on the Isle of Dogs. So if you want to come and celebrate the river on the other
fantastic.
side. We're a charity that's trying to understand and improve people's connection to the river on the Isle of Dogs. We're
Okay.
10 to 21, so we'll be talking to people on the other side. Everyone's welcome.
Fantastic.
Come along. That was like a river horn. All right.
All right, thank you very much. Well, thank you for this. Rosa, really nice to meet you, and we'll check out your event. And meanwhile, we've got new faces around the table, and they're no ordinary faces, actually. What is your name?
Amara.
Amara.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Dean.
And we've got Vanessa, Amir, Mikey, Andrew and Roy, and Lara on visuals, and I'm Margaret. This is Talkaoke. So guys, we're talking about Isle of Dogs. What do people do in Isle of Dogs? Is it safe is one question. Do you go out with your friends, or do you spend time on your own? This is another question. So yeah, what's it like to live in Isle of Dogs? Is it cool?
It's cool.
Yeah. What do you tend to do? Like, do you spend time outdoors or indoors? What kind of stuff do you do?
I spend time outdoors sometimes. And I spend time outside.
Yep.
Eat a lot of the time because I don't like being inside. Because inside it's a little bit boring.
Okay, so being inside is boring. I mean, we have been talking about people who are so boring. Can you believe this? They actually work at home. They work from home. That's just like the boringest thing ever. I mean, what about yourself? Like, do you prefer outdoors or indoors? What is your feeling?
I prefer outdoors more because I'm more of a football person, so I like to play football more.
Oh, I see. Okay, any more football fans around this table? Yes, okay, yeah. Do you play football?
I don't play football that much, but I come to watch my brother play football in this park. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Are there any sports that you are particularly interested in? And I will come to you, Unicorn, as well, because I'm interested apart from football. What else are you interested in? And are you interested just solely in football or other things? But what are your favourite sports? What kind of stuff do you tend to do?
I like tennis, football and basketball and swimming, and that's about it.
Okay, basketball, swimming. I mean, any fans of any of these sports out here? Yes? Which one?
I like swimming and basketball.
Okay, so both. Okay, so what about yourself?
I mostly like football and sometimes I go swimming. Like a few days ago I went swimming in Tiller with my sister and there was a giant slide.
Okay, so not only did you go swimming, there was actually a giant slide just to made it a bit more fun maybe? Or something? Right, okay. I mean, any fans of swimming? Anybody had a go swimming in this very river?
I don't think you can really swim in the river because the tidal forces are too strong, and you'll get
Right.
suddenly you jump in and you'll be sucked into the middle. So
Okay.
it's not probably a good idea to swim in the river. But I do like swimming. However, it is hard to go swimming these days because my local pool is always too busy. I can't get in anymore.
Oh, I see. Okay, so is overcrowding something that is kind of happening here? Do you sometimes feel like there's too many people playing football, the teams are just too massive, there's too many people in the swimming pool? I mean, what about you guys? I mean, what's it like down in Battersea? What is your experience of swimming or doing outdoor activities?
Yeah, we got a park in Battersea,
Yeah.
and there's always for people there doing like all sorts of stuff. Yeah, football, tennis. Yeah, people running around as well.
Are you worried about overcrowding? I mean, is London getting a bit too overcrowded, like in Mikey's case, in his swimming pool? Welcome, this is a pop-up talk show. You're welcome to sit down, get a better shot, and maybe you'll say something on the mic. Just about sports. Yeah.
Yeah, well, sometimes it's overcrowded, but that's also the beauty of London. It's just full of people. There's always
Okay.
something happening. So,
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, so London is overcrowded, but actually that's cool. That's fine. That's not a problem. And we've got a new face around the table. What's your name? I'm Margot, so it doesn't feel too orcs.
I'm Ahmed.
Ahmed, nice to meet you. Are you worried about overcrowding of London or Isle of Dogs?
Yeah, there is an issue about overcrowding, but how you tackle it is a different issue, isn't it, altogether?
What would be the first step? What would you do?
I think there are overcrowding for different reasons, and well, you know, Tower Hamlets is one of the most populated in the last census. That's where it came out.
Right.
We're now 350,000 people. Not as bad as before World War II, but still quite extensive. But in the name of overcrowding, the way the Isle of Dog is being developed, it's just not nice. It's just concrete jungle, actually.
Okay.
They're promoting it to us as saying it's going to be like a Manhattan-style area, but it's not. From a distance, it looks very nice, but when you come in, it's all like, I saw that building, where is it? And then you go further down and down, you know, and it's just popping up left. Whereas in New York, it's more like organized. All the tower blocks are on the avenue, and the small ones are inside.
So it's just better planning in terms of buildings. I mean,
but in terms of I think communication also is a part, so transport and stuff. So that's why I think Crossrail and HS2 will be quite effective. People can then drive into London, or commute to London within like 45 minutes, an hour. They can then live outside. I think that is one of the key things which the government is doing in the right direction. But in terms of overcrowding is very challenging.
Okay, but I feel like you've given us a little bit of an insight into the area. So it's slightly not an ideal planning where buildings are. Maybe it's too many people. But maybe transport will actually kind of improve that. Also, she's gone now, but Vivian was talking about maybe Tower Hamlets promising different things in healthcare, and maybe you were talking about promising this looking like a Manhattan, but maybe these promises are not being kept. So there's like loads of things we could talk about. Mikey, am I going to give mic to Mikey?
I personally, having been to New York, I personally think that although it's an island, Manhattan is an island, like the Isle of Dogs, well, except Isle of Dogs isn't a proper island, but I prefer the Isle of Dogs. I don't really like Manhattan at all. I do think that is overcrowded, whereas there are a lot of park spaces in the Isle of Dogs, I think, which I think need to be preserved and they need to be used better, but they're absolutely essential to not make it like, I think it would be really bad if Isle of Dogs was like Manhattan.
Okay, so what do other people think about this? I mean, do we want more kind of Manhattan-style planning, or do we want to preserve parks? What's happening here?
Mikey, can you have an opinion about a place without being there?
Ah, that's a question. Can you have opinions about somewhere you've never been? What do you think?
What's that, sorry?
Can you have an opinion about something you've never done?
Something I've never done.
Or have never been?
Yeah, bungee jumping. I'd love to do that. I've not done that yet.
Right, what are your thoughts about that?
I would love to.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'd love to do it, but I'm not sure if I'm brave enough anymore. When I was younger,
I
was more interested in it, but it's still in my bucket list.
I mean, is bungee jumping something to keep people fit with? I mean, it's like a healthy amount of fear injected in people. Oh, what's your name, by the way? I'm Margot.
Rahana.
Rahana, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah, so, is it a good kind of family sport?
Definitely not a family sport, so you have to be really brave for it. So I don't know if I've got that braveness in me anymore.
Okay, so is braveness, I mean, I don't know what you guys think, like, is braveness something that just kind of like disappears or like diminishes the older you get? Do you feel really brave now? I'm gonna come to you.
When you're like scared of something and then you become brave because you actually try it out and you're like, oh, it's not too bad, and then you're not actually scared of it anymore because you experience it and then you start to like it. Because before, when I first came to this football club, I didn't used to like it because like there was too much running and stuff. But then I started to like it because then I came in more days and it became more easy and more fun.
Okay, so I think you're giving some really good tips. So you'll become braver if you experience something and it'll just get easier. That's a really fantastic point. What about you? Do you feel brave? Do you feel like you're braver now?
Yeah, I think I'm braver because when I was little I wasn't able to touch bugs. But now I tried it out and then I started liking touching bugs and then now I more brave at touching bugs.
Okay, so touching bugs. I mean, are there many bugs to touch in Tower Hamlets? I mean, is that something? I mean, are you brave in touching bugs? I mean, is that something that you would dare to do?
I think you're definitely braver than me on this part. I
You
could not
win.
bear it. So well done, you. I just know. I run away from them.
Okay, right. So what about other people think? I mean, are they? Yeah, go on, Mikey.
Oh, I hate creepy crawlies, so you're doing really well. Yeah. Sometimes though, I can touch them sometimes, but not spiders. Forget it. Spider, no.
Okay.
No way, ever.
All right.
Yeah.
What about yourself? I mean, like, how you feeling
with
about?
spiders, another story. My son's over there in the red. He's more braver than me. So
Right.
if we get any spiders, him and his dad, or even my daughter nowadays, they'll take care of it.
Okay. So first of all, I'm gonna catch your name. What's your name?
Jakob.
Jakob, really lovely name. Nice to meet you. Are you the kind of spider handler in the house? Are you taking care of all the kind of weird little creepy crawlies?
Like when we find one, me, my sister, and my dad, we normally take care of it. So we basically get tissue and then we don't kill it because we don't want to kill the bugs. We put it on and then we just put it somewhere.
Okay, so you've got a system. You worked it out with your dad how to do it safely without killing the. Okay, right. So, what about your kind of levels of braveness? I mean, is that something that you think improved with age? Did you get braver? Do you get braver the older you get, or?
I mean, like when I was little, I don't think I was really keen on touching, like those spiders. But then once I was growing older, I started touching it. And that gave me experience, and then I wasn't scared anymore because I started touching it. I knew that it wasn't gonna hurt me. And then like if it's big, I won't touch it. If it's like small, I can touch it and I can deal with it.
Yeah. So maybe when you're a bit older, you can handle like bigger bugs or something like that. Maybe that will kind of like come to you a little bit later on. Yes.
So, like in my house, my sister, she has an acrophobia of spiders. So whenever we find a spider, because we have a vent right next to her bed, and whenever we find a spider, she literally runs all the way to me and my mum, and then my dad just has to grab a tissue and then does what he does, just
Right.
like put it outside. Or something.
So here's my question, right? Because we have been talking about. We're just kind of recording this. We're just gonna put it probably online, just so you can follow us on the social medias. That's if we get permission, because we may not. But we'll be doing another one of these next week. But I've got this question because we started off by talking about different forms of exercise and activities in Tower Hamlets or in Isle of Dogs, and is making people run because you give them, you throw a spider at them. Get them moving out of fear. Is that a good way of getting people exercising? I'm just curious. I don't know.
Well, also you can make people run out of bravery as well, go in the other direction. So just as somebody is running away from the spider, somebody else is running towards the spider.
Okay.
So he's running towards the spider. Who is the one that's? Yeah, you're running towards us. So that it's happening in both. I think bravery is a really interesting way of looking at this kind of activity because I think it also connects to why people, whether people go out or not, because I think you need to be brave to go and try out new things, like you were trying out the football and you had to be brave to do that.
In the club, yes. Okay, so we've got loads of hands up. Yes, Aisha.
I think that's not a good way to do it. I think you should just tell them it's not gonna hurt you. Just touch it and see what you think about it, and then they're gonna get more brave.
Okay, so don't scare them. Don't ease them into it. Get them touch it first, and just kind of make them used to. Yes. And then I'll come to you.
I think you shouldn't throw it at them because if they have an actual really big fear of spiders, they could actually scream and they could get physically they could get sad, and then so I think you should just let them touch it by themselves, and if you could tell them to, but if they say no, you don't have to force them to, and you definitely don't have to throw it at them for them to face the fears of spiders.
Right, but what do you think about this idea that Mikey suggested? Maybe could there be kind of like running towards the bugs? Olympics or something like that. Oh, some wind. If you can touch a bug, some people will be running away, of course. But if you can touch a bug, would you run to touch a bug? If it was like an Olympic sport?
I don't really have an answer for that.
Okay. Yeah, I promise I'm going to come to you. What do you think about this concept of bravery and throwing bugs at people?
Because if you throw a bug at someone, then if they have acrophobia of it, then it'll make them like more scared, and they wouldn't want to be a friend if they're your friend. If you touch a spider and you don't want to, you don't have to listen to a person if they say, "Oh, touch it," because it's your own opinion.
Okay, right. So you have to stick to your own opinion. Just try not to be influenced by others. But but sometimes are there any kind of moments when people can advise you good? They can give you good advice. Have you ever been given a good advice by someone else? I'm just kind of looking around the table. I mean, what's the best advice that you got given? Just maybe have a think about that. But yes, Mikey?
Well, I got this friend who sort of organised this thing called Good Gym. And it's let's get final thought. Actually,
we'll get some final thoughts from you guys. Obviously, so how to stay fit in an overcrowded, very busy Isle of Dogs? What's your recommendation, Aisha?
I think you should Actually, I don't have an answer to that.
Okay, so what is anything that we talked about? Was there anything that you enjoyed talking about?
I enjoyed about the bugs.
The bugs?
Yeah.
Yeah. You introduced the subject, so thank you for it, because we run with it for a little bit. Thank you, Aisha. Yeah.
I enjoyed discussing a situation to deal with bugs.
Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you for appreciating that, and thank you for giving some really strong tips on the subject as well. Yeah. Final thoughts.
I enjoy coming here because it's more interesting because I actually get to like tell people what people's there is and what to do if someone tells them to do something.
So again, you've shared some wisdom from your experienced life and how to handle bugs and how to be more brave and experience things, and maybe that's a tip for mum as well to go back to bungee jumping. Any final and initial thoughts?
I think it's not about the situation. I think it's whether you talk about it or not. Because, for example, taking a video like this and putting it online might open people's minds on how they think on a certain view or something, like bugs.
Like bugs. I mean, what would you like to kind of talk about? I mean, I know you have to kind of go now, but are there things that you wish you had people discuss more, or yourself talking about more in public?
Different thoughts on what's being posted online and like the news and stuff, because in my class, I myself, like, we have lots of debates about it, but it's more of what we're doing online, and since more people are online now, what they're taking in is more of what they might be sharing out to others.
So social media, and are you saying that people online are sharing more online than in personal life? Is that what you're saying? Okay, right. Okay, do you have any tips for how to kind of, I don't know, bring that balance back? Should people be sharing stuff online?
I think it's more of to do things like this, like we're doing right now in the park, and to get different people and more diverse group of people to share their thoughts, because then they might have different opinions about it.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, and thank you for this. We will be here until 4 o'clock today, so if you see anyone... final thoughts. Do you feel emboldened now to take up the bungee jumping again?
I do and I don't, yes. But yeah, like I said, it's still in my bucket list, so I like to get it done.
All right, I really hope you do it. But thank you very much, everybody, and grab a card if you haven't. Oh no, you've got it. See you guys soon. Thank you for stopping by. So this is Talkaoke. This is like this bit. There's this bit. I mean, anyone can jump in the middle, obviously, if they want to. You want to? You don't want to? But I'm also very, very happy here. I mean, so how is this all going? How is it looking from your perspective? Laura can have a little look on the visualizations. Laura, what is this one? Can you pass this to Laura? I get it a bit, but no. Oh, that's bungee jumping. No.
No, it's just jumping from a plane. But it's because there were so many subjects, I was kind of making out my own meaning to some extent. So it's actually a brave spider jumping from a plane and pushing his limits, because everyone is afraid of spiders, but no one talks about what spiders are afraid of.
Yeah, okay. So what are spiders afraid of? Are they afraid of humans? This is what we're talking about. Amir, do you have any intel on that?
I think my rule is if it has more legs than me, I don't really mess with it. So anything spiders or even dogs dogs I'm not the biggest fan of, anything like that. So yeah, I think spiders, creepy crawlies are not really for me.
Okay, hit that controversial button. You're not a fan of dogs, and you're an Isle of Dogs. How can this be? I mean, like, what's going on here? I mean, we're kind of going back to these dogs thing, but I love this visualization. It kind of speaks to me about the bravery as well. Brave spider.
Well, what I'm thinking as well is that, you know, like when I did skydiving, it was very, very hard to step out of the plane. Even though I was strapped to someone else, I didn't actually have a choice about it. I was like, ah! But if there was like a giant spider in the plane, then it would make it easier to jump out of the plane. Come and get involved in this. Yes, that's you. Yes. What are you scared of? Are you scared of spiders, dogs, planes?
Spiders. Okay, what is it about spiders? Is it the number of legs? Is it the size? What is it about spiders? Okay, it's irrational. It's, or did you say how it looks? Oh, how it looks. Okay.
It's hard in the middle.
I'm happy.
Okay?
Yeah, I mean, we can swap out if you want to.
Yeah, because it's we're going to be going the whole time, so we need
I don't even
to
know what the time is. So
it's
yeah,
like 1:30 right now.
1:30. Okay, Isle of Dogs, 1:30. Okay, I'm just going to swap out with you.
Okay, let's give Margot a huge round of applause. Fantastic conversation. All right. I really enjoyed that, and I thought there's lots of. I think this whole thing about bravery, and that sense of like, you know, stepping forward. Come and get involved in this. This is Talkaoke. Yes, that's you. Yes, you can. We're talking about bravery. Are you brave enough to handle this flying saucer of chat? That, you know, the aliens have landed, and we're keeping the conversation going.
I mean, speaking of keeping the conversation going and Mikey getting into the middle, I mean, is stretching something that needs to improve in Isle of Dogs? I mean, yeah, stretching exercises, this kind of agility of getting over the Talkaoke table. Are we happy with the current level? Are people stretching?
Put the camera, because I might have just.
I will.
Honed it in on the wrong thing there. So anyway, this is Talkaoke. My name's Mikey. Everyone's invited. All you have to do is just sit around the table, listen or talk. At the moment we're talking about phobias and fitness and phobia of activities, I suppose. My name's Mikey. Let's just quickly get some names. What's your name?
Andrew.
And
Roy,
yeah, and
Louise,
Vanessa,
Amir.
and we got Margot. So where are we going to go with this conversation? Does anything does it strike a chord? I mean, you've just jumped out, so I know, being a seasoned talk show host myself, I know it's hard to be in the middle and have to just suppress your own opinions in favour of those on the outside. So you must have something to say.
I mean,
now you're on the outside.
Sometimes when I didn't have an opportunity to maybe, or like I couldn't be bothered, or I was too busy just like going from one place to another, and I couldn't really do any exercise. Because normally I cycle, but sometimes, you know, I had to take a train or whatever, then I would just do this kind of like invisible exercise. I'd make sure that my posture is good, that like all my body is like kind of, you know, my muscles are kind of taut, so at least I'm kind of doing that, and then my jaw is loose. That's something that I'm working on right now.
We need a loose jaw for this. No,
it's true, but when you go to sleep, and I think that's also impacting the health. Like if you go to sleep, just check your jaw, because my jaw is often like really locked, and I have to just like tell myself. No, just relax.
Your jaw.
It's hard to relax.
Okay, that's an interesting thing I've never considered. Has anyone else thought about their jaw much?
Roy's
Sure. Roy, grab.
Yeah, my mum has this problem of grinding her teeth. And I think that might be a stress thing as well. But no, I think one thing I was quite interested to find out about is after the lockdown and working from home and finding this extra time for exercise and other things, is that something that people have been able to hold on to as the world is kind of going back to kind of what it was before?
Before I ask everyone else, I'm just going to what we call turn the mirror onto the person asking the question. And what about you? Have you managed to keep that going?
I think I gave up on it for a while, and I mean, in a lot of ways, I was quite happy to go back to the office. Because I felt like I was learning more, and then I probably, once I realised that was what I was going to be doing, I gave up on the exercise and making as much time for being social. But I think more recently I've kind of tried to fight to introduce
So
it again.
it's kind of been a yo-yo in a way.
Yeah,
backwards and forwards a little bit. Yeah.
And also in terms of being lazy after lockdown, I think I went through a period of seeing people a lot, and now it's kind of settled down again. I think I was making up for lost time, and now it's back to being more steady.
Okay, so it's almost like a. It's like a. Hang on, I've got it.
Yeah.
It's like that a little bit.
Chicken or vegetarian food? Free food?
Oh, there's some free foods. Okay, well that's yeah. So if anyone wants any free food, where's it? Just hang on a sec. We need more information. Come and tell us more about the free food. What have you got? Have you got a chicken?
Where is it?
Chicken and vegetarian.
Okay.
Where? Just there? Right, shall I get some vegetables?
Anyone want any food orders for anybody?
Food? Okay.
Yeah. Roy?
No, I'm fine for now.
Yeah. Louise?
It may not be later because you know free food.
I mean, if you're offering.
What? Chicken or vegetarian?
Chicken.
Chicken.
Chicken. Then
Chicken.
Laura?
Yeah.
Chicken?
Veggie.
Okay, I'm sorry, but I need to elaborate on this one.
Yeah.
So I've been I've been a meat eating person all my life, right? But wait, no. But this is a different thing, right?
Yeah.
But basically, back in November, I got COVID. I lost my smell. I lost my taste. I got my smell back, but still no taste.
Oh,
I had
really?
like a very bad time with it. I've went to like MRI scans and everything. It's been months, right? And since I lost the taste, I stopped eating meat or fish because when you can't taste it, you can't know if it's like cooked or if it's just funny, and it's just this chewy, horrible thing. So like I never thought I'd say that, but I just haven't been eating meat because of it. But I'm just saying, like, it would never occur to me, but now that I stopped eating it, it's like I don't know how I ever done it because now I can't remember how it tasted, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Go vegetarian.
Yes.
I think the short thing is veg, but it's interesting how it links to COVID as well, and that's kind of interesting.
And I don't want the food, sorry, I just answered the question. Thank you.
Okay. All right. I'll have one. I'm not going to eat in the middle of the table, but I'll definitely have one standing by.
3 veg, 1. 3 veg, 2 meat. Okay,
2
fine.
chicken. Yeah.
Keep it warm.
Okay, so we got to keep this conversation going in the meantime. It's interesting how COVID has affected you.
Yep.
And affected you. I mean, what was that like? Sort of suddenly, was it a sudden loss of taste, or did you just notice it?
I mean, some people, right? They just eat to survive, right? Like you just, I just grabbed something on the way. That's not me. Like I live for food, so obviously to me that's a big deal.
Yeah.
But anyway, I got the smell back after like 2 weeks or so, but the taste just hasn't come back. Like no matter what I tried all these online tricks. I tried, like honestly everything and anything. I've been eating like I've been squeezing lime like every morning and evening for like 2 months to just try to like somehow sense something, but no. So yeah, it hasn't been. It's just been throughout. Like nothing changed. It's just numb. Like there is nothing. And I can't taste my coffee. Nothing. It's honestly horrible.
Yeah.
So now I'm going crazy because in the first like 2 months.
But you can smell the coffee.
Yeah, I can do, but and I can see it at least. You know, it's not like it's a mindset. But anyway, what I'm saying is that in the first 2 months or so, like I could go off by what I remembered. But when I got to like the half a year mark, I don't know if I ever tasted like ever. It's like I don't know any different.
So it's almost like you feel like you're further away from the world of taste.
I know,
than
it's
ever
horrible.
Before.
Yeah, it's just I don't wish it on anyone. It's like the
Okay.
worst enemy kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah, Amir.
Yeah, I was quite in a similar boat. I got COVID at the start of, I think, this year.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, the next day I was meant to fly out to Canada, so that trip got cancelled completely.
Oh no!
Yeah, it was my cousin's wedding. It was a whole thing we were meant to do, but yeah, I didn't get. The only reason because I got the vaccine, but it turns out I got COVID with it, so I was like a double.
Right, you got a double dose.
Man.
Yeah.
So those 2 weeks were the worst 2 weeks of my life. But so I do sympathise with Vanessa a little bit, which is I didn't even get my refund for that flight, so I need to.
Yeah, so you didn't lose your sense of taste, but you lost some cash.
Yeah, but I did lose it. The way I found out was so strange. I was sitting with my sister, and we were having cheese and onion crisps, and I was like, "Oh, these are a bit off. I can't really taste the flavour of them." And she's like, "They taste completely fine." I was like, "Yep, I'm gonna go do a COVID test."
Oh, so that's how you realised you had COVID?
Yeah, I couldn't taste the cheesiness of the crisps.
Oh wow!
Which isn't ideal.
Okay, so that packet of crisps led to quite a lot of. I mean, we're not blaming the crisps, obviously. Okay, on this side, Laura, come forward. You got a question?
Because when I had COVID, I actually was lucky not to lose a taste or a smell. But I've heard this thing, which I don't know if I agree to some extent. It is true because when you have a cold and you have a blocked nose, you do lose taste, but because you can't smell it. So I don't know if you have it, but if I have a fully blocked nose and I'm sick, I don't enjoy food because I can't taste it, but not because I can't taste it, it's because I can't smell it.
It's about the link between the taste and the smell.
So is there a comfort, because if you can smell it, you can it does kind of affect your taste maybe.
Okay, well let's.
I know exactly what you mean, and I've gone through this with the doctor at the facial surgery department thing. Basically, everything is through smell. Like all of your taste is through smell, and you can distinguish between like something salty, something sweet. But anything to do with like that's for your tongue, like that's the senses. But anything like cinnamon or like some sort of like sugary bits, that is all your smell. So that is why my case is a bit weird, because obviously I got my smell, it's like fully functioning, but my taste isn't back. That's the worrying thing. That's the scans, what the scans are for, because it's like what is going on. So yeah, you do need your smell in order to taste. So I get what you mean in terms of when you're ill, like your appetite goes because of that. But if I didn't have my smell, I don't know what I'd do, because now at least I smell something like you know, like, oh yeah, it's that, you know, it's not out of date.
But there's no bitterness or saltiness.
It's nothing. It's honestly
sourness.
you just can sense this, like the texture of something. Like I know it's bar chocolate or it's sushi because you can like sense it, but you have no clue what you're eating at all. Like non-existent. It's not even. Some people had it like ash. Some people had it like a bit weird, but I just don't have anything.
Okay.
Anything.
All right. Yep.
Yeah, I lost my taste for about 8 months. I think it
For
was.
8 months.
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, and I think I can't remember now, but I think I had the smell come back after it was long enough afterwards that I kind of lost hope, or was like very concerned. Well, yeah, so it had to come back, and there were still some things until probably like a couple of months ago that were weird. Like I used to love Coca-Cola, and that was tasting like rosemary until like this at the beginning of the year.
Right. Has it gone?
No, it's fine now.
Is there rosemary in Coca-Cola? Maybe you've actually,
isn't the
it's a secret recipe.
Yeah, secret recipe.
And maybe because
I cracked it.
Yeah, you can't taste the other things. Well, we just need lots of other people with other taste deficiencies to.
But yeah, it comes back. Yeah. Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so we're talking about COVID, we're talking about people losing their sense of taste or smell. Come and join in. You've got a very large camera there. Is that something you got because of COVID? Because you need to socially distance a bit more, so you've got a longer lens now. Yep.
I'm interested in this thing of depriving people of smell as a mechanism to turn everyone vegetarian, because obviously that's better for the planet. But just like, maybe like NHS should like roll out a campaign, maybe testing Isle of Dogs, I don't know.
Yeah.
Where they just kind of like give people some kind of pills or whatever, put it in water, that you lose, you know, your will to eat meat. And
would that be ethical though? Just yeah, it would be ethical because the bigger picture. Are you a vegetarian, a meat eater? Everything. Okay, humans, dogs. We're on the Isle of Dogs. Come and join in, and that goes to everyone. The man in the stripes said, yes, we need you. We're talking about COVID. Have you had COVID? Do you remember the COVID thing? Vanessa's totally lost a sense of taste, but not a sense of smell. Margot, you've sort of slightly lost your sense of taste. Is that right?
No.
Okay. Anyway, come and join in. We have got Larice, we have got Roy, we've got Andrew, we have got Amir, we've got Vanessa and Mikey. Come in. I'll give you a round of applause on my machine. Yes, come forward. You can do it. And camera person as well can come and join in. Get some. It's probably not the right lens for close-ups sitting around the table. But anyway, tell us your names.
Yeah, my name is Bridge.
Bridge.
Yeah.
And what are your names? Come on, you can do it. Yeah.
Waiting for one of my friends.
Yeah. There's no commitment here. You can leave at any time. Yeah. Tell us your name.
My name is Priyanka.
Priyanka.
P for Papa.
Priyanka. And. Pranchi.
Yeah.
Okay, so at the moment we're talking about COVID. We're talking Vanessa lost her sense of she lost a sense of smell and taste. The smell came back, but the taste didn't, and it's gone really weird for her. and it's turned her from a voracious meat eater, like the camera person, into a vegetarian, because suddenly it's like, what am I eating? I can't eat this anymore, and it's a very weird thing. And then Roy lost his sense of, is it smell or taste? It was taste, wasn't it, as well?
Well, both for a while, but taste for 8 months.
And that's come back, which has given Vanessa hope. So,
So excited.
So okay, we should have been playing this sad music. Any effects have you got any effects? Have you had COVID?
No.
You've never had it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, that's why I went with the vaccinations.
Yeah, and you just
booster dose
yeah.
as well. So luckily I was.
Because Amir got a dose of vaccination and a dose of COVID at the same time.
Yeah. So luckily I was not. Gone with the COVID thing. So,
okay, so you one of those few people. Yeah, Priyanka.
I'm not
grab
sure
the mic.
that I had COVID, but I think 3 weeks back I had all the symptoms similar to COVID. So
you had all the symptoms.
I had all the symptoms: fever and very bad cough, short throat.
Yeah.
And what else? I think taste as well.
Taste.
Yeah. What was that like? Did it change your eating habits?
So I'm glad I'm vegetarian. So
you're vegetarian already.
Yeah.
Is that because of your sense of taste, or why are you a vegetarian?
I mean, I'm born and brought up like this. So
oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where. Yeah.
And where were you brought up?
I'm from India.
From India.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's just the culture of vegetarianism.
Yeah, kind of. He is not vegetarian.
I'm not. But yes,
Okay. Were you also brought up in the same place?
Yeah. I'm also brought up in the same place, but
you brought up a vegetarian.
But I went for schooling in the convent school, and there I've started to have the non-veg. So But normally I go for chicken and lamb. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Hang on, that's not my chicken sound. This is. Oh no, hang on. Too many animals all at the same time. No. Okay, so we're talking about, where do we want to go with this? We want to talk about vegetarian, but there is actually free food here, a vegetarian and a chicken version. So where do we want to go with this conversation? Do we want to talk about COVID? Are we still suffering from COVID? Like Vanessa, is it just about our taste? Earlier on we were talking about socialising, like the socialising hasn't come back completely, as well as people's tastes, and also activities. Are we still suffering from COVID? What do people think?
I feel a little bit tired all the time. Not sure if it is because of that COVID I had. I'm not sure that if I had COVID, but all the symptoms similar to COVID. So definitely I had COVID.
Yeah.
But when I test, I think it came negative. So it was literally confusing at the moment that whether I had or But according to the symptoms, I think definitely I had COVID. So I think after having it, what changed? I think I feel all the time tired, watery eyes. Yeah, you can see now as well.
I can't actually see because I broke my glasses. No, I can't see that far away. Okay, so there's lots of interesting things there. I mean, do you live in London or do you live in India? You live just here. Okay. So
it's been 10 years.
10 years, yeah. So one of the other things we were talking about was the Isle of Dogs, and is it go on.
I was just wondering, because if you guys are local, like what kind of stuff do you tend to do in Isle of Dogs? What are the kind of things to do?
Yeah.
We are so close to Canary Wharf, and it's quite happening all the time, and we are blessed that we are living just next to the park as well. As you can see, so many activities keep going. Especially during the summertime. But there's a lot of things. So many clubs, good restaurants, and for kids as well. There are so many things to do. So it's quite a very happening place to live. So it's been almost 10 years. We can't make up our mind to move any other place because I think negative thing for this area is just schools. They won't have any good grammar school.
Okay, so the schools are not very good.
Yeah,
but
schools
everything
are
else is good.
Yeah, secondary schools.
Yeah.
My daughter.
Okay.
Yeah, so we are just planning to move because daughter will be in year 4. So after year 4, there will be a prep for grammar. So we will look for going for outside of this area. That's only the negative thing. There is not a grammar schools in this area. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. All right. So
We were talking earlier about like people socializing or like people doing things in groups or as individuals or whatever, but I kind of wonder whether like do you organize any things as well, or do you just kind of you enjoy just getting involved in whatever's out there? Because we've had some kind of organizers around the table.
We had a lot
they
of
organize our friends to go out, and I'm just curious.
It seems the people that come and sit at the table are people that organise stuff. They're organisers rather than organisees.
Yeah. I think we have, definitely, because I think we have our groups, okay? So normally we organize sometime picnic in the park or something. Yeah, that's really, I mean, it's not like that you can just go and, join any group randomly. So like we have our own groups, like.
Right, okay. Why can't you just join a random group? Is that...
talkative, but to be very honest, I'm not that socialized, so I'm not easily socialized to everyone. So it will take time to have some trust or to get mingle with any group. So we have a couple of friends. I think one is on the way. It's coming.
Well, I mean, in a way, Talkaoke is perfect for you because they're coming from Reigate. Okay. Okay. Wow. So it's coming to get involved in it. That's a long way to come. And these guys have come from Battersea. Well, you've come from Battersea. You come from Finsbury Park, and you've come from a distance as well. So it's almost there are a lot of people coming to the Isle of Dogs. Any views on any of these things? Where do we go with this conversation?
No, I'm just kind of wondering, like, what? Obviously, your friends is coming from Highgate. Did you say?
Reigate.
Oh, Reigate. Where is Reigate? I thought it's Highgate. Reigate. Is it in London? No.
No.
Oh God. Okay. Okay. Right. Okay. Sorry. So my geography is a fail. No, but I was just kind of wondering, like, what is this the kind of stuff that people are enjoying at the moment? Like, are kind of festivals to kind of get people out of the house? Is that something that people would like to get involved in? And if not, maybe there are other things, because part of the reason why we're here, we just kind of want to find out what would people like to be involved in. If there was like a budget, like a cash, whatever, to organise stuff, what would that be?
What would actually get people out of the house is the question, I suppose. Andrew, you're just scratching your nose. Do you have an opinion?
No, I think something like that is interesting. Like, you have different types of activities.
Yeah.
Like different people, different groups setting up stalls. So you have like just a variety of choices to do something. I haven't been to a lot of these kind of festivals actually.
Yeah.
But now that summer's here, more of this stuff, like, definitely encouraging.
Okay, so stuff like this, so basically we're on the right track, I suppose. Roy, have you got any views on that?
Yeah, I would just say, sometimes London can be so big that these kind of events go quite, they go by without you really realising. So I think that's one of the things I've noticed. That you miss good opportunities if you don't really keep an eye out.
Yeah, so you've got to keep your eyes peeled. But in a way, it's almost impossible to advertise something like this to the whole of London. So how do you actually, I mean, is it just about passers-by? How do you get people involved in festivals? Could there be some kind of online notice board, or, what would be the way to actually, a small community festival like this, to actually let people know? Make a big splash.
I think Facebook groups.
Yeah.
Facebook groups can be good. I think but again, you have to be maybe the proactive to go and find that Facebook group and keep an eye on it.
I think definitely a big signpost and like in front of the really big, like
big
a billboard.
How big are we talking about?
Like, I think like if a billboard on top of one of the skyscrapers.
Okay, so the size of the skyscraper. So event here. So you could talk.
Well, instead of HSBC, you should say activities happening in this park. Like,
maybe that's one for Laura to visualise, like a huge billboard. Internet issues. Well, you're coming off of my phone, aren't you? So I have to just phone up 3 and find out what's going on with that. All seems to be working my side. Anyway, but the point is, eventually we can do this. We don't have to do it right now. We're going to visualise a huge banner on one of these skyscrapers saying, event happening here, come and join in, or something. It's a bit like what you were talking about putting on the event shelter, but the size of a skyscraper. Okay, so that's a good... What do you think would bring people in and actually... Bridge, what do you think would actually bring people in?
Something you play cricket and...
Yeah, so a lot of the times when we come here to in this park, we see that people are engaged with their children to play with the cricket, football, and there are some other activities. So basically most of the time they engage their children with the other children, so that on everyday basis they can have some outdoor times in the evening. So that's what I think.
So more like kind of collected children's activities, and the parents can actually just relax a little bit. What kind of activities would you like to see? Grab the mic as well, because I can't reach that far. It's matching your outfit, so that's good. So yeah, we should get a photo of that actually. But anyway, what activities would you like to see that you would go, yes, come on, Mum, Dad, let's go out to the park?
Basketball.
Yeah.
Cricket.
Yeah.
Cycling.
Cycling?
Yeah.
What kind of cycling?
Just like riding like your bike.
Yeah. But like,
swimming.
Yeah, swimming. I've got a sound effect for that. Yeah.
That's it.
Okay. So just basically kind of sporting activities, those kind of fun things. If there was that going on, that would bring you out, and that would bring the parents out, and everyone would get together. But what about if you don't have parents, or you don't have children even, is what I was meant to say.
But there are a lot of people who have moved away from home, so they don't have parents. I mean, obviously they're not children, but like older people. And I wonder whether how do people actually make friends? Because you guys moved in 10 years ago, and maybe other people also moved from other countries. I don't know. But like, how do you make that connection with people in your area? Like, is it for children? Is it pre-children? Have you made connections? Hello.
Because of the children's as well.
Yeah. So you really connected because of children, basically.
Exactly. Yeah. So we have a lot of connection just because of the children. Yeah. Because it's really important to keep them indoor or outdoor. Yeah. So So.
Hello. Welcome. We're doing a pop-up talk show here. That's what I'm afraid that's what's going on. But come and have a seat. You're all welcome.
This is a beer-proof table.
Yes, it's a beer-proof table as well. Don't be scared to open up your beers on the table.
Sorry, I should have brought more.
Yes, you should have brought more. Yes, definitely.
He's quite good for for this type of show. I know. Come on.
Okay, we'll give you a round of applause. You can do it. Don't be scared to open up the beers here. Right, so we're talking about what activities are going to bring people out. We're talking about post-COVID. We're talking about the Isle of Dogs. Do you love dogs?
Yes, that's my favourite animal. I'm going to get one.
You're going to get one. Any particular type of dog?
Golden Retriever, but it's too big that my mum is not going to...
Can you get a mini Golden Retriever?
No, they grow too big.
They go too big. Okay, have you got a dog? Would you like a dog? Yes. Okay, come and talk about it. Come and tell us your name. What's your name?
Path.
And what's your name again?
Pranchy. Yeah.
So Path and Pranchy, sit down and get involved in this conversation. We're talking about pets. Has anyone around the table got a pet? Yeah.
I don't, but I'd like to have a pet.
What sort of pet?
I think a dog, because recently somebody was walking a dog outside of our studio in Poplar, and I was looking after this dog whilst the woman was getting her food from next door, and I just really enjoyed it. I felt so calm afterwards. I would like to kind of organise some kind of pet walking thing.
Okay. I mean, I don't know if there's much impetus from the local people, but we want to do a dog show in the Isle of Dogs. But anyway, there's some hands up over here, Vanessa.
Yeah, I am a dog person through and through. It's like I could not have one, so I've got 2 dogs.
You got 2 dogs?
Yeah,
okay,
2 big ones. That's them.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Let's have a look. I'm going to show this.
They're Irish red setters.
Yeah.
They're huge.
They're what?
Irish red setters.
Irish red setters. Okay,
Yeah.
there's some dog action going on here.
Dog action, yeah, they're my babies. So that's my 2 boys. I would like a Great Dane, you know, the huge ones, but they only live up to like 8 years in full health, whereas these guys are like 14.
Right.
So still not good enough, but it's much longer than the other ones. So
Okay, I mean, what you were saying that that a golden retriever is too big, but are they as big as this?
I mean,
Oops,
they're no longer on there, but they are, they're just as big or can be bigger.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's a commitment, obviously, it's a responsibility. But to me, anything that comes with it, time, money, whatever, just coming home to them, it's all worth it.
So what is the biggest kind of, you know, output that you have to do? Is it the time you spend with them? Is it the
I don't think
money?
anyone should get a dog that doesn't have time for it, like who doesn't have time for it, or like is not willing to take on the responsibility, because like it is a dog, but it's like a kid, you know, like you have to take care of it, you have to, you know, walk, like you have to walk it, you have to go to the vets, you need to take care of the health, it's money, it's food, like everything, you know, but it's
Okay, so you heard all of that. Are you willing to take on that kind of commitment?
Yes.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Okay, we've got it recorded. Okay, we've got it recorded. And we've got a new face to the table. So just give us your name.
My name is Raj.
Raj, okay. Amir?
Yeah, I've got quite a bit of animals, but they're not like the normal type. So I've got ducks, I've got chickens.
Yeah.
We've got a few parrots, and then we've got a rabbit. So
you've got ducks, a chicken, parrots, and a rabbit. Okay.
It's quite strange.
I mean, why those particular animals?
I think it crosses the line between us having to take care of them and them taking care of them themselves.
Okay, so these are more sort of self-caring animals.
So we just give them the food and they get on with their day. So it's not much responsibility like a dog or that kind of time. And
what is the kind of lowest maintenance animal? Which one of those is the easiest to look after?
I think the chickens are definitely. We get eggs from them as well every morning, which is quite nice.
Excellent.
Yeah, and I think the parrot, we don't really do much with him. He just kind of bops around the house, which is quite nice.
Do you talk to the parrot?
Well, we started off talking to it, but then I got bored, so my parents kind of gravitated more towards the animal. I really don't like animals, so it's a bit of a...
You don't like animals? So how come you've got so many animals?
My parents and my sister are just a bit... So I tend to stay away from them.
Okay. So, I mean, there's other lower maintenance animals you could consider, like a chicken. Would you think about getting a chicken?
No, I only want a puppy.
Okay, it's got to be a puppy. Okay, Raj, have you got any animals?
No, we don't have.
Would you like to get a pet?
Well, I have my own reservation.
Yeah. What are your reservations?
I think especially with the responsibility and so it's a big commitment.
It's a big commitment. Okay, so is it too much of a commitment? That's the question. You're nodding as well. Larissa, have you got any animals?
No, I'm not really into animals.
No?
I'm not really into dogs.
No?
I had a cat when I was little.
Yeah.
Called Onyx. He was cute, but
yeah.
I'm not really fussed, to be honest.
You can't, yeah.
Is that controversial?
Well, I think Amir feels the same way, even though he's got a parrot and a rabbit and a chicken.
But how can you not like animals? Sorry. Let's just get to the bottom of it. But we need animals to pet them, to feel calm. They're part of our world and that kind of stuff. Okay, they're big responsibility for sure, but this is it's not their natural habitat or whatever. But what is it why you don't like animals?
Okay, those people. Anyone else that's a non-animal lover? Raj, are you a non-animal lover? Are you an animal lover? We got Amir. Don't worry, because you've got backup. You've got Larissa and Amir that are not that. I don't know. Bridge, are you an animal lover?
I love animals, but the only thing is you know the responsibility and the commitment what we have to go with the animals, taking care of them. So that's pretty much you know.
But the animal, you do like animals. And
I like animals. Yeah,
do you agree with Margot that they kind of give you a sense of calm?
Yes, that's right. That's right. I do agree with that.
That's interesting. I just want to bring in Andrew. Roy, have you got any views on this?
I like animals. I like puppies, but I just never had time to actually take care of it.
Yeah. So would you feel guilty if you had a puppy? Is that what it is?
Well, I'll feel guilty if I can't take care of it properly.
Yeah.
Probably in the future sometimes.
Maybe in the future. Okay, so you're thinking about a puppy as well. Maybe you could do a dog share between you.
That would be a good idea, actually.
Isle of Dogs. So, but
Yeah, I'd have a dog if I could make the time for it, which I probably can't at the moment. So it's one for the future.
Okay, one for the future. Okay, Vanessa.
I just think my opinion is this, right? The reason why you shouldn't have a dog or an animal if you don't have time for it is because no matter their original personality, because every dog comes with a personality, like it's either friendly family type or they're very like hunter or like more aggressive. But either way, if you meet a dog that is aggressive or is barking too much or it's just not safe to be around, it all comes down to the owner anyway. If you give it enough time, training and like love and all it needs, it has absolutely no reason to be in any shape or form, even to other dogs or to people around. So that's what I'm saying. People often get dogs or, they think they'll just place them at their house and just give them food, but that's not how it works. Like with the kids, I don't want to compare it to kids, but you know what I'm trying to say? It's the way you raise them, what they become.
Does the dog come with a personality, or do you kind of almost imprint the personality onto the dog from your own personality?
I think, like, for example, my dogs, they're very family oriented, but they're also hunters. If they were to be in that environment, they're very much like they're going to hunt a fox. They're not doing that because I've never done that with them, but naturally they could. But it's all about what you show them is okay. What they do day to day, that's how they act. So from a puppy, you have to start. The same way you wake up to a kid in the night, you have to you wake up to the puppy so he doesn't pee anywhere and stuff. Because you only get mad at dogs. They do mess, they bite things, whatever. It's only if you didn't take care of it in the first place, It's actually easy work if you've done it right. So
Okay.
Interesting. That brings me an interesting question actually. And yesterday I had a conversation with my friend. We were sitting, we were enjoying the lunch in my office. And the question came to our mind is that, do we know how the dog species evolved? How was it a natural natural from somewhere, or I think there is a story behind it actually.
I mean, have you got any thoughts on it yourself, Raj?
Probably I would like to circle around the table and see.
You want to hear what other people have got to say? How did we come to be so kind of intimately connected with dogs and have dogs in our life? Maybe I'll go to Vanessa first because you're the biggest dog expert here.
I suppose so. I'm happy to be crowned that, to be fair, but no, I feel like for me, I love horses. That's my favorite animal ever, but obviously I can't have a horse like running around my house daily. So this is the next best thing with the color, the coat, they look like them.
Okay, so you've gone for a horse-like dog, basically.
Yeah, that's it, but I don't know, that's just my kind of, that's my preference. But I feel like, I don't know, dogs can genuinely, whether you believe it or not, like they genuinely can absorb your pain or like your happiness, your pain. Like they're always there, like they have no, intentions like people, sometimes you do something because you want something back or,
so
the other way around.
Kind of schemers.
Yeah, exactly. They're just there. Like they love you for you. When you think about it, they don't know you. You just bought them and all of a sudden they're your best friend. Like how does that work, So...
Yeah, okay.
Actually, that's an interesting question. Where do dogs come from as pets? I guess we would have just like made them be our pets. We would just like train them and just like make them submissive.
Because I guess not good vibes. The largest question is it's like an evolution. So how does evolution...
Can I just say I don't have currently any pets because I probably can't stretch out my responsibility or time to do it. But when I see an animal, I don't flinch. Like I really enjoy petting them. But I think the origin of pets and in general is a bit like dark.
Dark?
Quack.
Oh, duck.
No,
a bit dark. A bit duck. Okay, so why do we like animals so much? As Raj said, it's kind of doesn't make sense evolutionarily.
So on Margot's point then, is it is it ethical how we've treated dogs, kind of domesticating them, or even cats? Is that ethical? Should we everyone just relinquish their pets and set them free?
Is it ethical to have pets? Have you got a pet? Come and join in. We'll give you a round of applause. We're talking at the moment about how come humans spend so much time looking after animals. How does that make sense? And we have got Larice, we've got Roy, we've got Andrew, we've got Margot. Tell us your name. Sorry, just quickly get a name. Give us your name.
Good morning. My name is Mahiullah.
Can I just call you Mahi? Yeah. And
good morning. My name is Jahin.
Okay, Jahin. Yeah. Yes, we are. Yes. What's your name?
Good morning, my name is Jaifa.
Jaifa, why is everyone saying good morning? And tell us your name.
No, I don't want to.
Okay, fair enough. That's you can make up a false name if you want to.
Sarah.
Sarah, okay. At the moment we're talking about animals and why. Come and get involved in this. Yes, have a seat. A moment. A lot of people have got pets around the table. Some people don't understand why people have pets. Have you got any pets?
Nope.
Do you get it as why people have pets?
No.
Okay, so some of the people you're joining in.
I would say some people has pets. I would say some people has pets because it's like some people think that it's like more like children. So like instead of adopting a child, they'll rather get a pet.
Yeah. Okay, so is it kind of almost like a sort of rehearsal to having a child?
I wouldn't say so.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say so because you should treat the animals same as you treat a child.
Okay,
It's like when a child gets hurt, you should think the same way as a pet getting hurt.
Yeah. Okay.
Because
so it's the same level of looking after that person. Okay. Do we get your name? What's your name?
Rahul.
Rahul.
You're good.
You're good. Yes. Okay. Good. All right. We're gonna. So this is Talkaoke Freeform Talk Show. We're talking about whatever you want to talk about. We started talking about pets. What we're talking about activities, I think, and what would bring people.
Yeah, come.
You want to talk about dating? I mean, maybe we could combine the two subjects. And does having pets help you with dating? Does it actually help you with dating?
It's not. Sorry, I don't. Yeah, I got given the mic, but no. Well, surprisingly, it's a very good chat-up line when you think about it, because you walk with a pet and they go, "Oh, what's the breed?"
Yeah.
Or like,
so it's a good way to start a
my
conversation.
grandma has one. You know, like, "Oh, we should walk it sometimes." And I'm like, "Sorry, can I just pick up this poop? Like, can I just go?" Like, you know.
Okay, so you've met an extraordinarily large number of people whose grandma have got red setters. That's the dog that Vanessa's got. So is having a dog a good way to kind of like start chatting to somebody that you like? Is that a good way of dating?
Conversation.
Yeah.
It opens a conversation.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's a good. Is it good for dating? We could talk about dating. Rahul, have you got any?
Because let's say the guy is bored, and he doesn't have anything to talk about, and he's some boring guy, and like you got a pet, you're carrying it on your way. Let's say you're going Canary, and I don't even know, and then the guy start talking about why does the pet have big blue eyes.
Yeah. Okay. So it's a great way to start a conversation. Why does your dog have big? Do any pets have big blue eyes? They do. Okay. Some dogs or cats? Huskies have blue eyes. Okay. Yep. Margaret.
No, I do think that if you've got a pet, then like you say, it's a conversation opener. It's like, and people just like talk to you. But sometimes it can just get a little bit too much if you like think I just want to take the dog for a walk and then I'm actually rushing somewhere. Yeah. But I do think I just wondered, do people in Isle of Dogs actually have got a lot of pets? I mean, how do people meet other people
If there's no pets on this side of the table, I don't think. All of these people don't have pets. If you don't have pets, how do you meet people? Rahul, have you got any thoughts on this?
Friends-wise.
Just friends of friends of friends?
Local mosque.
Local mosque, yeah.
Local community centre. Asda.
Okay.
I see a lot of people in Asda. I see a lot of my friends in Asda.
Okay, so Asda's a good meeting. Should we be
Asda's on the island, not
Should
Tesco.
we be doing this Talkaoke actually in Asda rather than right here? Is that where all the people are? You say no. What do you think? Do you like Asda?
No.
Do you ever meet any friends in Asda?
No.
Do you ever go to Asda?
No.
Okay, well there we go. What do you think about Asda's?
I would say it's a very good place to meet people because there's a lot of people that goes to shopping there, and you can just like slap them and say, "You're always saying," and then start conversation.
Okay, so Asda's actually a good place. To park your car. Okay, so we're talking about driving as well. We're talking about driving earlier on.
For those who shop in Asda or any other supermarket, if you bump into your friends and you're in a particular aisle, do you does your conversation change depending on which aisle you're in?
Is there a pet section to Asda? Is there an aisle of dogs?
Oh, very, very beautiful there, gag. No, but like, does your conversation change depending on which aisle you're in?
Okay. Do different aisles influence the conversation? What's the best place to meet within Asda? Which aisle? The chocolate aisle? Yeah.
Chocolate aisle, yeah.
Okay. What's that?
The entry.
The entry point, okay. Any other thoughts?
No.
No? Any thoughts? No? No.
House.
Do you like Asda?
Yeah.
Sarah?
Yeah.
Yeah? And do you like Asda?
Yeah.
What is it about Asda that you like?
There's lots of sweets I like.
Oh, okay, lots of sweets.
You can see
okay.
food.
Yeah. Food, it's a food element. Did you, by the way, there was a food offering, and I think, Rahul, you must know about it because you've got some tubs of food there. Is that still going, the food offering?
Yeah, it's just under there.
Okay, so
there's loads and loads of food.
There's free food.
Veg,
I don't know if you're
vegetarian, chicken, all of that.
Are you aware of the free food that's available here? Yeah. Okay, so you know about that. Okay, good.
Did you have a point?
Yeah, Amir, sorry.
I was gonna say, when I tend to see someone I know in public, I normally turn the other way. I'm surprised you guys actually.
Yeah, okay, so you actually try and avoid people. Why?
Do you know, you're there to complete a certain errand, and you're gonna have a bit of small talk. What are you gonna talk about? Like what you guys are saying, you're gonna talk about food. Like you're really forcing conversation with someone. Just go the other way, pay for your.
Okay, so you actually avoid people have you got a favourite supermarket?
I think Lidl as a student.
Lidl,
I think kind of cost effective, kind of decent loyalty cards, especially with Tesco's quite good with their meal deals.
Yeah.
If you have a club card, kind of saving money, which is quite good.
All right, so you're Lidl in the main. I'm going to just go around the table. Favourite supermarkets. I can come to you in a second, Larissa. I'm just going to go around favourite supermarket.
Well, I'm celiac, meaning I have to eat gluten-free, so I'm opting for the good free from sections. So that might be, Tesco's good. Yeah.
Yep. You're what? Lidl?
Yeah, that's my favourite shop.
Okay, Lidl. Yeah.
Because it's close to my house.
Okay, it's more about convenience.
I would say Iceland because most of the stuff is cheaper. So like, if your child is crying for it, you can literally throw them food.
Okay, so it's a nice cheap way of doing it. So it's about value. Favourite supermarket? You don't have one favourite supermarket?
Tesco.
Tesco.
Aussies.
What?
Aussies.
Where's that? Where's Aussies? Okay, it's a shop for drinks. So favourite? Asda. Okay, favourite supermarket?
Waitrose.
Waitrose. Oh, Waitrose. Sainsbury's. Asda.
I like Andrews.
I would like to choose a Waitrose, but I don't have money to shop at Waitrose, so it's Tesco for me.
Okay, so if you were rich, it would be Waitrose. Yeah. Okay.
But it wouldn't be Marks and Spencer's.
All right.
It's just like
I mean, if you're trying to meet someone in a supermarket, we know Amir is trying to avoid people. What would be the best supermarket to meet people in? Westfield.
Westfield, because there's better people and you can literally grab one and put them in the bathroom.
Is that what you do? Yeah. All right. Okay. Fair. I mean, this is a non-judgmental table. Come and join. What's your favourite supermarket? And is it a good place to meet people? No. Is Westfield's better? Yeah. Come and join in. What's that? I can't hear you from over there. What did it say? Come closer. What? Okay, we'll keep an eye. Don't worry. Maybe sit over there. We're on the hill here, so it's a really good place to actually see. But what's your favourite supermarket? And did you find your son? Can you see him? Okay, good. I'm good about that. Have you got a favourite supermarket? No.
Bye.
No.
Bye.
We never found out.
I'm going to assume it's Asda.
Yeah.
No, because one of the things I kind of wonder because
that's the default, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, like for instance, like one of the reasons why we're here also is just to kind of talk about what would people like to see in the area, and like if you had cash, if you had like whatever amount of money, like what would you do? So maybe it's some kind of like dating in supermarkets program.
Like
I don't know.
Speed dating.
Yeah, like so you don't have to do anything extra to date. You just go to a supermarket and everything's set up there for you.
Like almost like a dating supermarket.
Yeah, like a dating supermarket.
Would that work? Well, yeah. You think that's a good business idea? Okay, well maybe it's a way to get people active. What do you think about the idea of would it go down well here in the Isle of Dogs?
Probably, yeah, because a lot of people, as I said, I'm married, but a lot of people do in Asda, like as in friends and neighbours and people they know. So yeah, that's what.
Maybe they should have a dating aisle there as well. Like
again,
a speed dating aisle.
I'm taking notes.
We're taking notes. So also Laura's making visuals about that. I hope the internet is working there for you again. Where do we want to go with this conversation? Do we want to talk about what other activities are there? Is it true that there are people in the Isle of Dogs that don't do enough stuff, aren't active enough? You say it's true?
Because people are mostly in their houses.
Yeah. Why? Why are they indoors so much?
Because they don't like outside.
They don't like going outside? Is it because outside isn't very nice, or what? What's going on there?
I don't know.
Okay, you don't know, but we can. Maybe someone else has got the answer.
People don't like going outside because it's very hot.
Very hot. Okay. So maybe if there were more shady places or places with aircon,
they would get outside.
Okay. So maybe cooler places we need. Is that just now, or is that generally it's hot here? Is this a hot spot? No. No, it's not a hot spot. Okay. What do you think about this? I mean, do you agree? What's your name again?
Jahin.
Do you agree with Jahin that people are not going out really enough?
I would say so, because one of the reasons, as my other mate said, is weather, but the other one would be, I'd say, because online and devices are developing too much, we'd say that people are using too much snaps and that. Like, for example, I've got a friend.
People are kind of addicted to computers and social media.
Yeah, and I would say, like, for example, I've got a friend, all he does is that he asks for people's snap on, like, fucking Facebook and that. And then he comments shit, and that's what he does. He talks to people and that, instead of going outside and meeting new people. I think that's the wrong idea, because if you go outside and meet a new person, you get new experiences, you get to talk to people, you get to understand the person more. Whereas if you stay indoors and like you talk to people in Snap and Facebook and that, what's the point? You can't meet the person's face, can you? He can troll you straight away, and you don't know the person very well. That's the reason.
Okay, so we're talking about are people getting out of the house enough in the Isle of Dogs, and what is the reason? Is it because they're addicted to social media? Is it because it's too hot or it's too unpleasant outside? Any thoughts? Is it boring? Was there a point over here?
Yeah, I mean, like what you were saying just made me reminded me of somebody saying something earlier, which was about how to become more brave and more kind of like open, and it's about like experiencing different things. And once you experience it a few times, then it just gets easier. We're talking about fear of bugs and spiders, but really, I think it's similar, like with dating or anything like that. But actually, I just wanted to ask, where did you meet your wife? Is there anything?
Okay, that's a very good point. That's good thinking. It's good thinking. Maybe we can learn from that. Maybe we could learn from that and help other people to find happiness.
I met her through a friend.
Yeah.
It was like an event we went to.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I didn't know her then.
Yeah.
But we were the similar event, my friends.
What kind of event was it?
It was just like a party kind of event.
So a party, should we?
No, it was a party.
Yeah, more of a party than an outdoor festival.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was my anniversary yesterday.
Okay.
3 years. So yeah, 3 years.
Okay.
And a 9-month baby. So.
Okay. Wow.
Bit crazy at the moment. But yeah.
All right. So.
Yes. 9 months.
9 months. Okay, I mean, one of the things we were talking about earlier is about, you were mentioning that it's quite a responsibility, either looking after an animal or looking after a baby. Have you found that? Has it been easy? Has it been hard?
Sorry, what was that question?
Just looking after such a young child.
It's been difficult. I mean, it changed my life completely. I used to be out and about a lot. Now it's inside a lot.
Okay,
I'm looking for playgrounds and play baby swings and whatnot. So it's always been.
So in a way that's kind of interesting as well, isn't it? Because we're talking about what is stopping people from going. But in your case, you're looking after a child that's sort of inside most of the time anyway. Was there a point over here?
I was going to ask, if your life is changing a lot, are you still kind of planning on staying in the same area, or are you looking elsewhere?
I'm actually looking elsewhere.
Yeah.
I'm looking to move out of the Isle of Dogs.
Yeah. Why? And why is that?
Reason being that I'm being honest, I don't feel it's going to be safe for my child to be growing up.
Okay, so it's about safety,
for my child, so
yeah.
I mean, he's a boy. Yeah, a lot of violence, a lot of gangs. I see it about.
Yeah. Okay.
My doorstep. There's a lot of drug dealing. Don't see the police doing much about it.
Right.
and I just don't agree with what's going on.
Yeah, okay, all right. Another guy.
Do you do drug dealing? Do you do drug dealing?
I work for houses.
Okay, well, all right. So we're going to come back to this. There's a question from Roy, but I mean, is that another reason why people don't go out because of the crime going on? People, is it a fear? That's a reason. Yeah. Okay, Roy.
I was just going to ask: are you looking to move far away, outside of London, or are you staying local?
I haven't decided yet, but I was looking outside of London only because London is so congested.
Yeah.
But then again, I love the amenities and everything that's close in London. Well, Isle of Dogs, really, because we've got an Asda, we've got a park, we've got a leisure centre, we've got everything we need.
So in a way, it's two sides of the same coin. Do we want? Where do we want to go with this? Do you want to talk about that congestion? Do you want to talk about crime? Maybe we could link those two things together. Is it because of there's so many people? Is that why there's crime? What do people think about crime?
Yeah, it's overpopulated.
You think it's overpopulated?
It's overpopulated. I've lived here about 30 years now in my life. I was kind of like grew up here.
Yeah.
It's changed over years. It's not got worse, but it's not got better either.
Okay.
And I just feel the youngsters haven't got anywhere to go.
Yeah.
And a lot of organisations are failing these youngsters.
Okay. Well, okay. What do people think about crime? Is that a reason why people are not going out? Is it a big problem in the area? What do you think?
Some people don't care.
Grab the mic.
I would say yes and no, because some people care. Because if they care, then they would stay inside. As I said, social media would be linking to crime. And if they don't care, then they would go outside and do their stuff.
Okay, so there are people that are just getting attracted to crime.
Yeah, some people don't really care, and some people really care so much about it.
Yeah. Okay. Was that? Have you got a point there, Sarah? What do you think about crime? Is it a big reason why people don't go out?
I don't know.
Don't know. Okay. Any other views? What do you think? I'll come back to you on that one. Yeah.
I don't think it's crime itself. I think the youngsters don't know they don't have anywhere to go.
Yeah.
There used to be youth clubs. Council cut it. Previous administration cut it. So there's nowhere for the youngsters to go.
Okay.
So they're just out and about. And what happens when kids are out and about? They make they do silly things.
Okay.
And then they get attracted to other things.
Come and get involved in this. This is Talkaoke. We're talking about the Isle of Dogs. We're talking about
safety, overpopulation. Do you feel overcrowded?
Yeah.
I mean, but like I'm just thinking about. We were talking about the staying, I don't know, active or whatever. I mean, are there sports, are there activities that actually is good to do in an overcrowded place? Like, is there any? Because I think overcrowding is not going anywhere. I mean, unless obviously, well, if you move out, that's not going to solve the problem of overcrowding, right? But because there'll be new people moving in. But is there anything that people can do together just to kind of spend time in a more kind of, I don't know, fun way?
Is it? I mean, you were kind of saying that the other side of the coin of the overcrowding is all the amenities and all the things close at hand. I mean, are there other advantages of lots of people being together in the same space? Is there a reason? I mean, why are we all, in a way, we're all kind of close. We could just all move out to the countryside. What brings us to the city? You were born there. Is that do you feel an affinity towards this area because you were born here?
No.
When you grow up, do you think you will move somewhere else, or do you think you'll stay here?
I don't know.
Not sure yet. Okay. Amir, I'm going to come to you. Yeah.
You had a point?
Was there a point? Did I miss a point? Did I miss a point? I missed the point. Okay, Amir. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Go on. What's your question? What's your question?
Why do some people prefer doing crime stuff, like going into violence?
Yeah.
That's my question.
Okay, what is it that drives people into crime, doing the one thing? I mean, you said, Raheel, that people are out on the streets, and just them being out on the streets with nothing to do leads them to crime. But why?
It's because maybe they get groomed by people who are doing the crime.
Yeah. So it's older people, more
definitely.
cynical people.
Yeah, because I see a lot of youngsters, very, very young people on the bikes.
Yeah.
Excuse me, so you're saying that 50-year-old man does more crime than a 20-year-old? Is that what you're saying?
But in a way, I think the implication is that older people are more in control of what's going on.
Yeah.
People probably do lots of crimes because of violence in the games.
Okay, so you think it's violent computer games?
Oh yeah, social media. So some people learn it from, for example, Facebook. Like watch videos and movies.
Okay, so is it social media? What was your point, Amir? Have you forgotten it now? Yeah, was it something to do with Asda? Was it? I mean, I'll just do a quick rewind if I can. I think I might have broken the machine. I know that I've broken it.
No, I think it was just were you talking about why the people come to the city of London and kind of that kind of thing.
In a big city. Why are we all gathering together? You know, it's like. I remember in Crocodile Dundee, he goes to New York and he's like, why are all these people living in such a...
I think, for example, for me personally, obviously, I studied in Queen Mary across the river or whatever, and I feel like there's job opportunities, but it does it gets really busy here, and like when I try to get home in the rush hour, getting on the Central Line, pressed up against about 6 people and no one complaining, we kind of all normalised it, so I don't think when you normalise something, you don't really see it as a problem anymore. I think maybe that's something with crime as well, you see all these stabbings and stuff like that, but...
So it just becomes what you used to.
Yeah, like I used to live in Surrey, in Guildford, and we moved here. Because that was.
Do you really care about the crime?
I mean, no, it's not about caring. I think it's just more about you kind of normalise it. You kind of have to go about your day-to-day life. There's not really much you can personally do.
Into violence?
Me, no, I'm not into violence.
Do you play violent computer games?
I do, but I think...
Okay, interesting. So what about that point about the violent... are you a violent person?
No, I don't think...
So how come you play violent computer games but you're not a violent person? What's all that
Me
about?
personally, I don't think there's much of a connection. Because personally, I think when it comes to you, I'm playing with my friends, you're just having a good time.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Well, this is the thing. What about you? Do you play violent computer games?
Of course.
Yeah? What's your favourite
I do.
violent
I would say, I don't know, Call of Duty or Valorant.
Okay. And does that make you violent, do you think?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's how people see you. For example, like if you... It's like, how people see you.
Okay.
Society.
What do you mean by that?
It depends from the community, you know. So, for example, if you're in a party with your group of friends, obviously you're gonna show off some violence. And if you're like with some 30-year-old man, obviously you're trying to be a good man, you know.
Okay, so in a way you're a different person in different situations. Well, that's kind of interesting as well. Okay, Louise. Yeah.
I've got a question that was quite funny what you said. When you're at a party, you want to obviously show up some violence. But like when I'm at parties, I'm quite happy. You know, lots of dancing, a lot of vibing. Okay. Violence, not so much. It's not my inclination. No. So I'm intrigued. No judgment. I'm just intrigued.
Okay. Okay. Violence. What do people think? But and also, what is you made a very good point about the computer games. What is the connection with violent computer games? What's that?
I just made up a random word.
What is it? What was the random word?
Dictation.
Dictation. Is it about dictation? Whatever that is. Yeah.
I totally agree. I think it is completely about dictation. But second thing I wanted to say, like, if I had a lot of cash from somewhere, whatever, then I would just let people just have some of this cash to throw parties because they, you know, it seems like, you know, it's good.
Party on the boat,
there's a party on the boat over there, and also people, you know, people get together.
Are they getting violent on the boat in that party?
Yeah, there must be. You can't see it. Yeah, you can't see it, but there might be.
I can't see beyond my own nose.
No, but really, I mean, I think if there was money available for people to organise parties, and then just like if you do them in a public place, then other people will join. A bit like a carnival.
Yeah.
So I kind of wonder whether carnival and a party is a physical activity. Just as you know, could it be considered that?
Okay. And what do you think of the boat going past with all the music happening? Any thoughts on that?
I wish I was there.
I wish I was there, yeah.
But then a lot of people don't have the opportunity to be on that boat because they probably have to splash a bit of cash, which they don't have, so...
Okay, so do you like this idea of a free party then?
Well, this event is good.
Yeah.
I think it's...
I mean, could it be...
brings the community together.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Andrew?
I prefer being here than on the boat.
Really?
It's crowded up there. And everyone's probably sweaty as well.
Yeah.
So it's cool here. Like, that's win and brig.
Okay. And if there is violence here, you can always run away, but on a boat, you have to jump off. Yeah. Okay, where are we going to go with this conversation? We're going to talk about parties, we're going to talk about the crime, we're going to talk about activities, because you're saying, Rahil, that it's actually about no activities is why crime is happening. Other people are saying it's older people influencing younger people. Where do we want to go with this? Do we want to talk about this kind of like the reason why we're all in a city? It's up to you. Margot, you got something?
I mean, I just want to know what people would do, like if they had infinite amount of money. What would they do in this community?
Okay, so you've won a lot. What would you do if you were rich? That's what we're asking at the moment. What would you spend your money on? You cars, okay. Come and talk about it. We're going to just go around the table, find out what people would do if they were rich. What kind of car would you buy?
Probably like Lamborghinis and expensive cars.
Okay, so it would be more than one car.
Yeah, lots
Not
of cars.
just a Lamborghini, another car as well.
McLaren,
Yeah.
Rolls Royce,
Okay.
Bentleys, lots of cars.
Okay, so you'd buy lots of cars. What's your name?
Wehan.
What's it?
Wehan.
Wehan.
Yeah.
And we've got Amir, we've got Vanessa, we've got Margot, we've got Roy, we've got Andrew, we've got Larice, we've got Rahil. Sorry, I've forgotten your name.
Jaifa.
Jaifa and Bird and Birds and Jahin and Mikey and Sarah we've got over there and George, Sarah and George. And that's what we've got, Bird, Sarah and George. And yeah, and that's what, and at the moment we're talking, there's a few subjects on the table, but right now we're asking, what would you do if you had lots of money? You'd buy loads of cars. Let's go around the table and find out what other people would do. What would you do if you had loads of money?
I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Probably
Yeah.
use some on like video games and give the rest to my parents.
Give the rest to your parents, okay, yeah.
Oh man, I wish I was so old because I would waste money on
Yeah, what do you waste your money on?
on a prostitute.
Yeah. You'd spend money on prostitutes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. What would you spend your money on if you were really rich? I'll come back to you. What would you spend your money on?
Buy toys.
Toys? Any particular kind of toys?
I don't know, dolls.
Dolls? But you buy dolls. If you had loads of money, what would you do?
I really don't know.
Don't know?
Probably, yeah. We're dating now.
Yeah. Start as the dating business.
I have a question.
Yeah.
If you found an attractive girl right now here, would you date her, or would you date her and leave your wife, or would you stay with your wife?
Okay. Okay. I think that's to you, Rahil. So what?
Well, no, I love my wife, so I'll stay with my wife.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So even if you found a very attractive girl that was attracted to you,
I love my wife and I'll stay with my wife.
Okay. Okay, come and join in. This is Talkaoke. We're talking about what would you do if you were really rich. Mostly it's spend money on cars, spend money on, let's say, services. We're going around the table on this one. What would you do if you...
I'd spend my money on lots of sweets.
On sweets. Okay, I mean, what would you do once you've eaten enough sweets? Surely you're going to end up with a lot of cash left over, aren't you? Maybe you spend it on dentistry. Yes. So that's what it's. Come and grab a seat if you want to. Okay, give us a final thought, Rahil. What about the future of this area? How are we going to get people doing more stuff here?
More
getting out of the house.
More community facilities.
Yeah.
Better facilities for young people. That will help reduce crime and antisocial behaviour on the community. Working with organisations and partners such as the police and local authority to kind of reduce it all and make it an amazing place to live.
Okay.
Which it already is.
It already is, but just improve it a little bit. Thank you, Rahil. And where are we going to go with this? Let's just do another. Let's just get you on. What's your name?
Amit.
Amit.
Yeah.
We have got. What is it? Wehan. Wehan. Yeah. And we've got.
Just say a random name, man.
Yeah. What? No. Jahin. We've got Bird. We've got George and Sarah. And what's your name again?
Jessica.
And that's Rahil, and we've got Larice, and we've got Andrew and Roy and Margot and Vanessa and Amir. And at the moment we're talking about what would you do if you're really rich? What's going to make people in the area come out of the house, be more active, socialise, this kind of thing. We've already had some quite good ideas. It's mostly been around dating, and you could setting up a kind of speed dating aisle in Asda's. So that's some of the ideas so far. The other thing is just like parties in the park a bit more often, that kind of thing. I don't. And do we need more money actually to get people out? That's another question. So that's where we are right now. Are we going to have a change? We're going to have a change of hosts. Stay there. I'm going to jump out because I've done my stint. You're going to crawl in, but stay there. Oh, thank you.
Which way are you coming out?
I'm just going to like spin out, kick a mirror in the face, and in you go. Let's give Margot a big round of applause. Oh, sorry. Yeah, before you go, just give us a thought on some of these subjects that we talked. Give us a
Sorry to
final
have put you off. I normally do it with a bit more grace, but not today. Clearly, it's a bit too hot. Give us your final and initial thought. I know your thought. It was about cars, but maybe you can give us some more as well. What would you like to do in a community? What is this community needing? If you had all the cash.
Could it be some car-based?
Car-based activities. See you later.
I think it's more about making the kids educated about the stuff which is going around, and because kids are the future of this country, and I'll invest in rather being school rather than being buying some buildings or cars or something. Have something invested in the education of this education system, so that
if you like forgetting everything and like let's say that you're a teacher, what kind of thing do you think would be most useful for young people to learn about? Could you teach a subject? This is like fantasy land.
So it's not about just one subject, I would say. It was like about the overall development of the child, which is important. Because I think every child is different, and I have kids which are going to the school right now, and if you'll see the number of kids in the school, I think how many kids you have in how many
300
now in your class? 30, right? And for one teacher, I think 30. I think it's a little bit too much, but if you'll see about other countries like Switzerland or all those countries,
smaller number,
like 6-7 kids in a school, so they get a one-to-one attention in that, how what is the area of development of each of the kid. You can focus it on, you can focus on the development of the kid.
Okay, I think it's a really good point because somebody brought up schools earlier, and it was about are schools actually in Isle of Dogs, are they any good? And people say maybe they're not that good, but you're saying actually there's quite a lot of people in the classroom. Hello, by the way, this is a talk show. You're welcome to join and just cool down, have a chat, or listen, do whatever you like. So you're saying it's about that individual attention to each young person, so they can grow to be a better future citizen.
Let's ask him 30 kids in a school. So like I don't know how much one lecture goes for these kids, maybe 45 minutes, so it's just 1.5 hour.
And can I ask you
1.5 minute for one kid. I mean, even if we talk about the average attention one child will get, it's like less than 90 seconds.
I've got a question for you though. Are there any people, other parents who think similarly to you? I mean, do you feel like there are other parents who kind of like band together to do something to maybe, I don't know, help?
No.
Nothing.
I'm not sure about this.
Right.
I'm not sure about this because I have not been interacting about
but
this
if there was
much.
something going on, would you be interested in like joining like a parents kind of, I don't know, group to change things up in the school?
See, I think I as an individual, it's very difficult for me to change anything. It's about the
maybe having a bit of a group kind of to kick things off.
Not about the group of people like you and me. It's about the people who has the skills to do that. I don't know. I'm an investment banker, but I don't know how to run a school.
That's fair enough. I mean, any tips from the table how to run a school? But
just off. But can I just wanted to say, surely we want, maybe these young people could be the next generation of bankers or working in finance. But surely, although you don't know how to run a school, you've got a lot of knowledge about that world that these young people could potentially find out about and learn about, even if you're not a teacher as such.
So, see, okay, I think if I see from where I come from, I'm from India, and the population of India is 1.3 billion. And out there, I'm from Punjab. Yeah, so if you see, I was in a school where in one class there was more than 150 kids.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's about asking for more, because and it's not about sending the kid to a private school. So so I'm sending my kids to the government school. The reason is I mean it's better to be an animal of a jungle rather than being a lion of a circus. Yeah, so
I think education is quite a big kind of part of who people are in the future.
Yes.
And I kind of wonder, thank you so much, by the way, for stopping by. Actually, we do have some forms, like we've got some kind of questions they want to ask you on the form as well, but Louise will see to that. But have you got any parting comments, any questions to the table that you'd like us to discuss whilst you go off and enjoy your Saturday? It could be about anything, it could be completely random.
Nothing much. I would just say, I mean, because see, at the age of 45, let's see, like I plan to retire like next 2 years, 3 years time. But what about my kids, right? It's not just I will give them the money and they are sorted, right? I don't want to do that. I want them to earn their own bread, and I think the education is the key for that.
Yeah.
They can only be at their own if they are educated, and if they are educated well. That's what.
So education. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of today. Okay, people, we've got a new face around the table, but because I'm a new face inside of the table, I would like to do a round of names, because that's just how I roll. I'm going to start with yourself. What's your name?
My name's Ian.
Ian, nice to meet you. We've got
Vanessa.
Emir. Mikey.
Jahin.
Moo Man.
Jaifa.
What's your name?
Say George.
Okay, no name. Anonymous.
Sarah.
Sarah.
Andrew.
Roy.
And we've got Laura on the controls. She's doing the visualizations. I don't know if you can see them. It's a little bit sunny here. What is this one, Laura? Is it like, what would you spend the money if you're really rich? And we've got new people kind of like hovering around. What would you spend money on? Are you guys from this area? You're visiting. Okay, if you were really rich, what would you splash your money on? Would it be sweets? Would it be art? Would it be dentistry because you ate so many sweets? What would that be?
Medicine.
Medicine? In what way?
For people that can't afford medicine.
Right, come and join us, because this is very interesting, because we're talking about, we're talking about that now, but come and get involved. We were talking about education earlier, we were talking about how to kind of let people know about what's happening in the area, but yeah, like what kind of change would you like to bring into the community? But you're saying actually it's about medication available to everyone. I mean, is there a problem with access to medicine? And by the way, welcome, in where you live? Do you live in London?
Thinking as a worldwide.
Right, okay, Mikey, thank you.
This is electrically safe.
Yes.
We just thought what it's about.
Oh, sorry, Andrew.
Just to those who can't afford, like the third world country, that are not available. It's not available for them. The medicine, the procedures that need to happen for them. Because we've just been to a charity event, and they actually send out doctors out of their own will that they don't get paid to perform surgeries for people that have severe problems in terms of, I think, what was it called? They have a lump in their throat, which stops them from eating or drinking. So to get that op done, they can't afford. That lady couldn't afford it, and she's a mother of 6. She'd rather spend that day making some money to feed her children than get an op done.
Yes.
And so she had to dedicate 3 days of her working day, which she wasn't willing to sacrifice for her children. But that charity made sure that the children were being fed and looked after while she was getting that operation done. So if I was rich, I would make that more available for other people.
Okay, fine. I mean, like, and just kind of, I think that's a really good example. And also, is there kind of a really hard choice? Do you feed your children, or do you look after your own health? Do we prioritize our own health enough? And this is a question to young people, but also to parents, to non-parents, not. People who define themselves as young people, everyone. I mean, do you feel like you both of you? I mean, what are your names, by the way? I'm Margot.
I'm Seema.
Seema.
Naima.
Naima, do you feel like you prioritize your health, or are there other priorities? And that's a question actually to everyone on this table.
I think me being a mother myself, I definitely don't prioritize my
Really?
health.
Oh no!
I'd rather no. It's actually today that when I saw that charity event, I actually realised if I don't look after myself, how would I live longer to look after my children? So I need to look after myself in order to look after my children. But when you're a mother, you actually put yourself at the back of the wagon because you feel like the children are priority.
Yeah.
And that's what happens naturally being a mother. But my sister can probably say because she just has to, she needs to think about herself, so she probably would prioritize herself.
Yeah.
Rather than thinking.
So, Naima, are you healthier than your sister?
I don't know.
No, but this is a really good point. Like, what's the first step in prioritizing your health? Like, what stuff do you do to kind of feel, to be healthy, have a good well-being, shall we say? And I guess that extends like physical health and mental health and everything. Are there any things that you girls do that, you would recommend?
Like taking time out from my children today, coming to a charity event. So it was a challenge. So making sure my parents can look after my kids while I come out with my sister. So having a bit of me time and trying to in tune with the worldly affairs and all that stuff. But anyway, thank you for letting me join in your talk show. I've got to go.
Listen, no worries. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you for this. I mean, so here's a question, people. I mean, do you prioritize your health? Is prioritizing your health a good thing, or is it a bit selfish? I mean, what do you think? I mean, do you feel prioritizing health is important?
For me, not really. It only counts if I know my health. I don't have to tell anyone else if I'm really healthy or I'm really not healthy. So I would see that as just me knowing. Most importantly.
I mean, what are the signs that you kind of, when do you know that you're healthy and when do you know that you're not so healthy? Can you feel it in your body?
Yes. So, for example, when you are healthy, you would realise, for example, picking stuff up, running, breathing would be easier.
Yeah.
When you're not healthy, it would kind of be that the opposite of all of that in a way.
Oh right, okay, so this is like if you're not healthy, all the kind of basic stuff like breathing, like eating, like running won't be so easy for you. I mean, like, what about you guys? Like, what do you think? I mean, do you prioritize your health? Do you agree? I mean, do you know when you're healthy, when you're not healthy? I'll come to you in a second. Amir?
Yeah, I think finding time throughout your day to kind of burn a few calories or worry about like balancing your, like right now I'm in a calorie deficit, trying to burn more than I'm eating, just trying to get into shape, because I feel like once I start working I might not find enough time to do this, so kind of finding a bit of a routine again, because I feel like I've lost that, especially after graduating. You kind of, your day-to-day life is a bit more unpredictable, so having something like the gym or playing football or back to bouldering but yeah, so having something like that throughout your week, kind of every week, every day of the week, is kind of nice, you know what I mean, kind of finding a pattern again, which I think the best way to do it is exercise.
Okay, I mean, like, so is routine something reserved for like grown-ups, or do children have like healthy routines? I kind of wonder about you guys, like, do you have any healthy routines or any routines that you kind of...
Yeah, I wouldn't say just exercise. I would say eating healthy food as well. For example, instead of eating bread from Lidl or Tesco, I don't know, eat some like fruit, even though it's more expensive, I would say. But like it controls your health as well. But like physical activities is one of the steps. But it would be harder for some people. For example, people that retired, for example, like 60, 70. But like if they want to become more healthier, the first step is to eat like healthy food and like start like eating more liquid, for example water, like 4 liters a day. I don't know.
Wow, 4 liters a day. I mean, I think we have been through 4 liters today. I feel like I have. But I mean, this is a really good point. Like also about our family members. Like, do they, the kind of older members of our family, I mean, if they have unhealthy habits, if they don't drink enough water or they don't eat enough fruit, like, what do you say to them? I mean, they're grown ups.
I think,
like, how do you make them change?
I think you should try to teach them, like teach especially to those like that don't have enough knowledge about health. You need to try to give points to them, like why is it good to drink water, and like why do you have to is one of the important thing.
So are you saying that, okay, so in order to kind of explain to people benefits of healthy eating, do we need to give them some kind of incentives? Is it about points, knowledge points, this is good because XYZ, or is it like a loyalty card? It's like, do you collect points every time your mom has a healthy meal, cooks a healthy meal, or something like that, or eats a fruit?
My parents got a very different idea about what is healthy foods to what I think is healthy foods.
Okay, how so?
Because they think eating lots of meat is healthy, and I'm a vegetarian.
Okay, so is eating meat actually healthy or not healthy? I mean, hello, welcome. This is a pop-up talk show, also known as Talkaoke, and everyone is welcome. Right now we're talking about healthy eating. Remind me your name? Ian was saying about, you know, you kind of know when you're feeling well. You just know it in your body. You can breathe easily, you can run. Also, we were talking about healthy food habits. You know, some older people, maybe they should just start with changing their diet because maybe that's where they have to start. I mean, is eating meat a healthy thing, full of protein and strength, or quite the opposite? Is it a generational difference? What we consider healthy and not healthy, and this is where we are at. I will come to you, and then to you.
I don't think meat is unhealthy or even healthy. Same with vegetables. It's a more of a balance. So, for example, you have too much meat, you're going to have too much protein and probably gain some fat. Too many vegetables, however, if you start burning off, you'll become too skinny. But having a balance, you'll become the right weight, have the right strength and everything. So that's how I think about it.
Okay, so it's about a balanced diet. I'm really glad that you're giving out those tips, because this is free on Talkaoke, free advice. I mean, I can't help but notice your lanyard. I mean, do you know anything about healthy eating or health at all? And also, what's your name? Grab the mic.
I'm Chris, and I'm the director of the health network in this area.
Right.
So I know a bit about health. But do you know what? I think this lad knows more than I do.
Okay. I mean, like, what is your experience like of managing the entire health of the area? I mean, like.
I just work with the GPs, really. Sort of thing.
So what's the word on it? And by the way, come and join. This is just a pop-up talk show, just an ordinary day, having a talk show here. You're welcome to listen. Take a seat and listen. You don't have to say anything. But what are the GPs saying? Is it a healthy area? Is Isle of Dogs healthy? Not healthy? What's the word on the street right now?
Well, Isle of Dogs is a mixture. It's got a lot of young people, got a lot of young professionals, but it's also got pockets of elderly people.
Right.
And one of the things we've identified is a lot of isolation with that community. So somebody was saying about getting elder people to maybe change their diet.
Yeah.
At the moment, they can't even sort of heat their homes, really. So it's quite a tricky thing. So we're working on that, as well as obviously health in general.
Okay, so that before we start talking about healthy diet, there are a few other steps just to kind of make sure that people can have their houses warm. Mikey?
No, it's just that we talked quite a lot about a lot of different things, I guess, relating to health today. And, you know, I mean, we mostly probably focus on younger people, but one of the things that these two were saying is that younger people are not going out maybe as much as they need to, because they're kind of on computer games, they're on Snapchat, they're on stuff like that, and they're not necessarily, you know, they're doing active stuff, but it's Call of Duty rather than, mind you, if you didn't want someone to actively go around with a gun shooting people, but the activities happening online is basically what I'm saying.
But I mean, is activity online, if you kind of play Call of Duty or another game online, I mean, isn't that some kind of mental exercise? I mean, does that count? I mean, is that, you know, is it good, Amir?
Yeah, for me it's a way to decompress. Like, I'll probably go home later tonight at much later in the night. My friends call me, they tell me come play for a bit. So for 2-3 hours you get to kind of distance yourself from reality, kind of go into a whole new world. I think that kind of helps you mentally, especially when you kind of have the pressures of the day, you know, working 9 to 5 for whatever it is that you have. So you have that moment of the day that's just for you, with your friends or whatever it is. Kind of step away from the real world.
Do you know what? I just want to ask these ladies, as they and children as well, as you're passing through. This is a pop-up talk show, and anyone is welcome to sit down and listen or chat or whatever. We're talking about computer games. What are your views on computer games? Do you have the same views, mums and children? Do you agree on computer games?
we're not same game. I can't understand.
Oh, do you play computer games?
No, my children also interested.
Okay.
Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing?
Some of computer game I know allowed my house, but this is not risksable. I can allow my house.
Yeah.
Yeah. The before have one Shen name Taki yeah. Sayan, ওই গেমটার নাম কি? ওইটা একটা করলা যে আমি তো বললাম এটা ইয়ে করো I forgot, okay.
Okay, no, that's fine. It's really hot today. But thank you so much for stopping by and sharing your views. We are here until 4 o'clock, so for a little while. And you guys are welcome as well. This is a pop-up talk show. And if you don't know what it is, it's just basically sitting here, listening, talking to this microphone. At the moment, we're talking about physical activity, computer games. Actually, Amir is saying the computer games are very good for having your own space, a bit of a kind of mental health chill out. So it is kind of like, it's quite a good thing. Welcome. What are your names? And also, like, you can budge up and grab a seat. There's some spare seats over there, so just kind of pass them around so people can sit in the shade. But yeah, I mean, what are your views on computer games? Do you play computer games? Oh, you can come closer as well. Grab this mic. Yeah, nice one.
I'm Rishik and I do play computer games.
Yep.
And I just play them for fun and like after I finish my homework then I just play them.
Okay, so you've got your kind of homework first and then for fun you play computer games. Is there anything else that you do for fun?
I do lots of sports.
Right. What kind of sports? I'm presuming this man is your dad.
Yeah.
Is it possible? Yeah, okay, that's good. Are there any sports that you do together or is it just like, no, Dad, I'm going to do my own sports actually, thank you?
Before we used to play tennis in Millwall Park, but now I basically just do training in some other places.
Okay, are you training tennis training?
Yeah.
Okay, and how are you doing? How is he doing in terms of tennis skills? Yeah?
He's okay, he's alright actually.
Yeah?
No, yeah, I think, he's quite good, I'd say. So he attends the dev sessions.
Yeah.
Which is like an invitation based. So yeah, he's one of the better ones. Probably not the best. There are of course better players, but yeah, he's doing okay. I think.
Right. So. Okay, so tennis. We've got future or current tennis champion or a high achiever in the world of tennis. So thank you for finding time to sit down with us. We're really, really privileged. What about yourself? Tell us your name and what kind of sports do you like doing?
So yeah, my name is Kostav and I basically like all types of sports, whether it's indoor sports, outdoor sports, so starting from tennis to cricket, football, basketball, badminton, swimming, table tennis, so yeah, literally any sport that I get to play.
You're an all-rounder, you like everything.
I like everything, probably not an expert in anything, but yeah, I like to play all types of sports.
Okay, fantastic. Well, actually, before you came, we were talking earlier on today about what is the kind of relationship between people playing sports in groups versus doing something on your own. Maybe computer games are a little bit like kind of solitary time. I mean, are you missing out if you're not in a group of people doing things? Then we were also talking about a healthy diet. You were saying about having a balanced diet. Maybe that can help with exercise. And I kept meaning to come to you for ages, but now I'm gonna do it actually.
So I want to ask the dad and the son a question.
Yeah.
Like your son plays computer games, right? So when he plays computer games, don't you think about his effect on his eyes? That's my question.
Okay, so effects on eyes, which is actually, you don't know this, but this is how we started. We were talking about Specsavers versus
3 hours ago.
Yes. And I think we may need to change the battery on the camera very soon. Right.
Yeah, it definitely is one of the things that we try to keep telling him, not to spend too much time on it, and at least kind of look away from the screen every, I don't know, 10 minutes, 20 minutes for at least 1 or 2 minutes, but I think realistically he probably doesn't remember to do that. But it definitely is one of the things that we are aware that it's detrimental for the eyes, so we try to tell him to look away from the screen as much as we can, and that's why we are out today. Although it's sweltering heat, but rather than staying home, we are still out to do something outside.
Okay, so kind of look after your eyes, play computer games by all means, but look after your eyes. We've got a new face to the table. This is Talkaoke. You'll pick up the pieces very shortly. We're going to do a round of names in a bit, but I just kind of wondered, just because we have got a health expert here at the table, someone who knows something about, you have to know something about health. Yes, that's good. I mean, like, what about older people's health? Because we were talking about that earlier. We were talking about diet and other things, but actually, what about the eyesight of older people? Is it better because they play less computer games?
I doubt it. I doubt it a lot. I think everything in moderation, isn't it? So, our colleague, is it Amir? No, yeah. Amir, yeah. Where do you work, Amir? Do you? I just graduated. So right, so you do a lot of computer stuff anyway. That dissertation took you days, didn't it? Weeks, months, okay?
Hours.
So if you then go on your computer to do computer games after, even to unwind, you're going to get those little spots in your eyes and the little, you know. Oh, really?
Oh, dear.
Right. So you're high risk. Yeah. Whereas my gran, she wasn't high risk, you know.
Okay, and she can see very well. Okay, so, but are computer games actually useful in, like, I think you mentioned a problem of isolation maybe, or loneliness. Did you mention that? Well, am I making this up?
What?
And then I'll come to
one of the things we're really interested in, you might have noticed that a lot of health services now are moving online. So if you want to go to any of the GP practices, you do a e-consult, or you email, or you text, or whatever you do. And of course what that means is there's a lot of people out there who are sort of what we would say digitally excluded. So we are trying to see, I mean, some of the work we're doing here around surveying people who might not be even able to do as our friend here is on her smartphone and get text, you know, sort of thing. It's not a school. I'm not telling you off. Sorry. You can carry on.
We're having to talk about education, so it wouldn't be.
My point being that some of them do have mobile phones. They're very proud of their mobile phones, but they're sort of Nokia circa 1999, you know, bricks sort of thing. They can't get access to the internet, so they're being excluded really, and that's something we. You know, if I ask the youngsters, particularly the sort of older teenagers and
that's everyone around this stage,
including myself. How would you best like to get a health service? What would be your answer? Phone, walk-in, digit?
Or just ask Ian, because he's
Ian's the expert.
He's got all the knowledge.
Go on.
All right, I'm just going to pass the mic.
How would you best like your services?
I would rather walk to them than be online, because for me, I do have a phone, but I only use it for example, like emergencies, like calling
medical
people,
advice,
and then playing, entertainment. I wouldn't really use it for like going into like that kind of So I would rather like walk to my. If I did need some like medicine, I would rather walk into my local GP instead of going through a whole survey.
And would you take your gran, who's digitally kind of excluded? Would you take your gran or your elderly neighbour with you? Help him?
Yeah. I would definitely do that. Help him out, because it is a bit hard because the world's kind of changed a lot.
I know Andrew because he's been at the table for a little bit, but I'm just going to get a new person's name. Welcome to Talkaoke.
Yeah, thank you so much. My name is Ala.
Ala, nice to meet you, Ala. So Ala, this is, as you can see, and also welcome person over there in a kind of beautifully coloured T-shirt. You are welcome to join. She's a smoothie lady. Smooth. Okay, so. Any views on this? Any views about health? Are you local to Isle of Dogs?
I'm just living across the street. Right. On the health issue, that's true. Like after COVID, I saw that things has changed here. Especially we had like an amazing center here, Barkantan Station, which was doing a very great job.
Yeah.
recently it was a little bit painful to have like a face-to-face interview with doctors, which is quite annoying, especially for me. I'm suffering, like, since we had COVID, I was suffering from back pain. And if you want to like get like very good advice, it's better to see doctor face to face, so he can examine you and like guide you where to go. But apart from that, I also understand the pressure on the health system. Like there might be some possibilities where you people they can do like e-consult, video consulting, that can also help them to reduce the pressure. But when things I think are a little bit serious and urgent, it's better to see a doctor face to face, I think.
Okay, so face to face is a better form of getting your health sorted, just in general. Okay, right, fine. Before I come to you, Andrew, because I feel like I can do that because I feel like we've bonded over this past couple of hours. Actually, I'm gonna grab your name. What's your name?
Hi, Munati.
Hi, Munati. So I'm Margot, and this is. I'm not going to do a round of names because I don't fully remember them, but we can do a round of names shortly. But I promise to come to you, Andrew. Do you remember your point, or have I confused you completely now? Okay, well, give it a go.
So I think a mixture is good, like having some online advice. Like for me, I'm quite lazy, so a lot of times when I got the symptoms, I'm just double guessing, and I always go online to look at like if I actually got serious illness. But yeah, but obviously
with Dr. Google.
With Dr. Google.
Okay.
No, but I think like NHS does have a few like advices on like certain like not that serious like illness. Like I think the other day I got like a stomach bug, so I was just looking online and see what I should be doing.
So it's not terminal. It was just a stomach.
But obviously, I think everyone, if there's any serious illness, go and check with the doctor, not like online. But well, only like minor stuff.
Okay, thank you, Andrew. And sorry to hear about your stomach bug, but I feel your pain. I have had it also recently. Louise.
I agree with this young man over here. I think going in person or phone. I think phoning is better. I think it's actually faster than online. I think online sometimes it's a bit long and I got to fill in all this stuff. I just want to phone my GP and be like, I'm struggling with X, Y, and Z. When are you free? Okay, we're free at 3 p.m. I can't do 3 p.m. Can you do for tomorrow? Yeah, you can. Okay, bish bash bosh, done. I think sometimes online can be actually longer than just phoning up and getting an appointment. So,
okay.
Yeah, that's mine.
All right, Mikey, you've got views. Thank you. You've got views on this.
I think if you're struggling with XYZ, then that's a teacher you need really rather than a doctor.
Where's the sound?
But no, I just. My GP, and I think you're right about the pressure obviously on GPs, but I've had a number of medical issues I've just not been able to get hold of online, on the phone at all. But so I have to resort to Dr. Google. That's my only doctor.
Okay, I mean, so earlier on we was just kind of talking about, do we prioritize our personal health at all? Like, do we prioritize it once you have children? Do you even, or it's just a bit too long? So I'm just going to Google it. Actually, I'm not going to actually go to see a proper doctor. Before I get your response, I mean, what about yourself? I mean, do you prioritize your own health? Or is it a bit hard?
I don't have kids, so yes. Okay. But it's hard to prioritize it anyway, because with wealth and everyday life, I'm like, you know what, I don't need to go to the GP. Might just take a paracetamol and then that's it. But if not, online has actually made it difficult to actually even see a GP. Because before, it'd be like you'd make an appointment, they'd say, okay, make an appointment 2 weeks in advance.
Yeah.
And then you'd see a GP, but now it's like you don't even have that option. You just go online and you don't even get seen. So I'm not sure about the online business.
So online is a big buzz about that, but is it actually efficient at all? Not just for older people, but for younger people as well. Your face is just not looking very happy. Are you agreeing?
No, I agree. I agree with that point. Like it makes things not easy for people like to see face to face a doctor, but as I said before, we should have the two options, because some people they might have only like some minor symptoms that doesn't require a doctor to see them for like 30 minutes or 15 minutes, which is kind of a waste of time also for the system and money and everything. So I think it's better to have the best balance between the two systems, and I think in that way that will offer the two possibilities for everyone.
Okay, so keep a balance. Did you want to respond? I know, Amir, you've got a point as well.
Let's hear it.
Okay, go on, Amir.
Yeah, no, I agree with Andrew as well. He said having a mixture of both is really important. I think if it acts as the phone call, for example, acts as a screening process, you know, kind of if it's worth actually going in or not knowing what kind of symptoms you have. You kind of speak on it. I know if you call 111, they kind of advise you. I think that's a really good process to have. It avoids congestion. For example, when I go A&E, it's telling me there's a 6-hour wait, and I see people who might have a minor cough. I'm thinking, well, you know, maybe it's better if you're not here and you can stay at home and rest up there, and you can kind of in a day or two it'd be better. Like I know I sprained my foot, it did hurt, but I was like, there's no point in me going A&E. I know in a couple of days it'll be better. But I think maybe it's just a peace of mind thing. People do kind of panic when they're in pain, and they do tend to kind of throw that kind of pressure on NHS as well. So I think having that mixture of both, being able to go there if there's an option, but also having that screening process beforehand, kind of knowing if it's actually worth you going in.
So my question here is, right, because you mentioned like, okay, so you go to an A&E, it's like a 6-hour wait time. Should the NHS, should the A&E have game consoles just to help people, you know, pass time, maybe do like Laura visualise there. It's a game console, but it also checks your eyesight. So you're not, you know, so it's like benefits of both worlds. I'm just curious, I don't know, but yes.
Well, they actually did do that because once I had to go into the hospital for a test, and it was a very, very, very long wait. It was about 5 to 7 hours, something like that. So I did play a few video games there. There was like you know, like the what's it called, Minecraft, if anyone knows that. So there was that game in it. Yeah, it entertained me throughout the day and kind of like got the stress off me of the test and everything. So
okay, so hospitals not only help people with their ailments, they also can be quite entertaining. It could be like stuff happening there. It could be like a place to hang out. What do we think about that? I mean, have you got any views on this?
Well, I think you're right. If people are waiting, if there's stuff to do, it makes it a bit easier, doesn't it? I just wanted to say something about the GP service. So the problem we have at the moment with the GP service is that there's a sort of 25% extra demand because, as this gentleman's saying, during lockdown his back was getting worse. Suddenly he's got to do something about that. And not only that, we've also got a loss of GPs and health professionals. So they're leaving the service. We've got a very old GP population. They're leaving the service. And we just cannot recruit at the moment. So the government give us money that we can claim for, and we just cannot recruit. So there's a bit of a sort of perfect storm going on. So there's extra demand, there's no GPs. So what we are trying to do is get other experts other than GPs. So you could go to the Barkentine, see Mike Glover, who's a first contact physio, and he could diagnose better than a GP, because that's his trade, your back problem. Likewise, if you need to go and get medication review on some condition you might have, that long-term stomach condition that you're hiding from. I see, you're hiding from it, Andrew. No, I'm not joking. But you could go and see a pharmacist. So we're trying to get pharmacists in. Right. There's paramedics we're trying to get in. Just anything to alleviate the problem, because everyone thinks it's about going to see a GP. But sometimes, as Amir was saying, that triaging, that sort of first contact is really important. So over on our store there, we're talking about social prescribing, because it could be that your problem is about your housing and you need a doctor to help you, because they're the only ones who are going to listen in the past. So social prescribing really important. And there's health coaches over there. So if you've got issues, you know, people come out of lockdown, there are big issues around mental health, you can go to a health coach, physical, mental, whatever sort of thing. So we're trying to make the workforce a lot more differing, so that it's not just about GPs. Do you want the mic back?
Yeah, I'd like the...
No, I'm on the mic now.
Well, I've got my own, so, you know, it's not a problem for me. No, but what I want to say, like, I quite like this kind of distributed approach to some kind of key issues. Earlier on, we were talking about dating, and can actually going to a supermarket help with meeting somebody? Because you may be really depressed, but actually what you're really suffering from is a lack of a romantic partner. So I mean, you weren't exactly talking about that,
gave you
right?
a romantic partner.
No, it's not like I'm not.
Can't even get nurses to work.
Okay. Oh, but you know what I mean? Like, it's just like there are unlikely places where you can get things which, you know, can kind of address your issue. Ladies over there, welcome, by the way. If you walk in this direction, you are coming closer to a pop-up talk show called Talkaoke. And we're just talking about health right now and dating, just because I threw it in. Are you leaving? Okay, people, I need you to, like, for a moment, just take this moment to appreciate these two, because they've been here with us for a little while. Give us your final thoughts, and you're getting a free round of applause. No, we need a final thought from everyone. Come. Right, final thought from Andrew.
Well, stay healthy, have a balanced meal, and do more exercise.
Great.
Wow, I thought this was a really good format, and the conversation topics that came up were really good. So yeah.
I hope you've got our cards. We are popping up everywhere. Right now we're here, obviously. Do you have a card? Yeah, Bartlett Park. South London, I'm not sure when we're there next, but there you go. But yes, are you going? Why are you going?
Friend about it, he was saying you should try.
Alright, so what I wanted to say is, like, this is a pop-up talk show where everyone around the table decides on the direction of the conversation. We have been talking about health, we have been talking about dating, we have been talking about loneliness, we have been talking about your back problems as well. Any tips? Obviously very welcome. But you seem like you're going somewhere. Where are you off to now? Or what would you like to talk about? Thank you, Maggie.
Yeah, sure. So I think, first of all, thanks for inviting us here. I think it was nice just to have some space to talk about some of the things that are very important, but we never really think about it. We just tend to ignore and get into the groups of day-to-day life. So yeah, thanks for giving that reminder that we should be more careful about our health, about our well-being. And I think one of the things that you said is, do you tend to ignore sometimes your own well-being? And the answer is a blatant yes. Pretty much as long as we are not forced to go and consult a medical professional. Personally, none of us do that. So basically, like, I'm probably living with some pain on my left ankle, which I got maybe more than a year now. But yeah, it's not much of a botheration. I just feel the pain sometimes, but it's not a persistent
pain. Is it
pain.
from too much tennis or from too much of other sports that you play? Because I know
I think I actually sprained it while I was running, but yeah, it has never really healed properly. So I'm just living with it, I think, because it's not bothering me. I don't know when I'll grow older. Might be I'll have some problem. Yeah.
Okay. Right. I mean, I don't know this, but because obviously we're talking about some very specific conditions. But I do wonder, because it all kind of started off. If you had the money, what would you spend it on? In relation to, like, activities, but actually maybe it's about providing better health advice, or providing some kind of, I don't know, opportunities for people to consult each other and local experts on things like sprained ankle and that kind of stuff as part of healthy well-being. So that's sure. really brilliant. Actually, we would like to get your details. I don't know if we already have that, but thank you so much for this. We've got a new face at the table. I just want to get the new face.
I wasn't going to say anything.
Just a name.
Oh, I'm Tracy.
Hey Tracy, I'm Margot, and this is everyone else. I just forgot everyone's name right now.
I'm going to go over there.
Yeah,
but
fine.
Thank you very much. Good to meet you.
No worries. Thank you, Chris. Any final thoughts you're going to leave us with?
Are you at the barking time practice? Mike Glover. You have an appointment. It works. My life is complete.
Did you just book it online now? No. Oh, right. Okay, fine. Thanks. Yeah, that would have been really brilliant. Okay, so apart from fixing people up with medical professionals, we also have this talk show going on, right? So this is Talkaoke, and it is really about taking in any direction people want to take it. I'm okay in the middle. I'm Margot, and this is Tracy, just in case you don't know, but I think you know. But I'm just going to do the round of names again. So I'm Margot.
Tracy.
Kabung.
Anna.
Emir. Vanessa.
Ayan.
And there's Laura on the visualizations. She's just basically artistically putting this kind of artistic slant on the conversation. So the crazier we go, the better for Laura. Actually, she can just like really fly with that. But yeah, so what would we like to talk about? Like, are there any things on your mind right now? We can talk about any of the old subjects, healthy diet, console gaming. Would you go to a hospital to hang out? And you guys are welcome to join this pop-up talk show. it looks like you're exercising. What are you doing? Are you exercising? Just running. Do people do running anymore? Because I wonder. Did you know the Isle of Dogs is quite overcrowded? This is something that we learned today. Is it good for runners? All right, you're running away. Which direction?
Well, it's got to be north, otherwise.
Are you running north? That's the only way out.
Yeah.
Are you running north away from Isle of Dogs?
Or in the river, it depends on
Okay.
depends on the day.
Well, you listen, you have to stay, you take care of yourself if you go in the river, because, you know, we've heard earlier there are some strong currents and undercurrents there. But I mean, if you need a rest, just grab a seat. We just come and chillax, basically. So we can talk about these people's running habits. Is Isle of Dogs a place to run away from or run away to? See you later, people. And we've got an iPad, is technology taking over our lives? Mikey?
Well, I don't know, maybe it's gone now because the GP guy is gone, but I sort of feel like it's a bit, you know, no amount of money really is going to solve this GP problem. It's because there just aren't the GPs, and it's in a way down the health service put everything on top of the GPs, so they're going to make all the decisions about people's health, and it's just overloaded them, and now they're leaving, and it's a pretty bad situation. I mean, I like the idea of putting it onto lots of other people, but the GPs are still the ones that make the decisions. Like, for example, I want an MRI on my knee. That a GP's got to authorise that, or at least refer me to a knee specialist.
Okay, so I mean, I'll come to you, Amir. But I mean, like, do you feel like you've got welcome? You can grab a seat. This is just a talk show. You know what I mean? It's just like, yeah, we're just chatting about all sorts right now about Mikey's MRI, which just hasn't materialised. But there you go. I mean, what is your relationship with your own health, or GP, you know, general practitioners, or are you more kind of like on Laura's visualisation? Is this kind of your type of doctor support that you're going for out of necessity or out of, I don't know, just preference? That's it, that's where we're at. What's your name?
Mike,
nice to meet you. Shall I just have a go? and ask guess people's names. Mike Larice, Tracy Kabong, no, Kabong? No. Yeah, there you go. Mikey Ala, Amir, Vanessa and Ian and Laura on the visuals, and this young person over there, obviously I saw her epic roll down a hill. I really admire that. Whilst you were talking, you missed that. And I'm Margot. Right, so GPs, are they just having their hands full? What's it all about? Is anybody thinking about the GP career? I reckon you'd make a really good GP, but may I come to you?
I think when we talk about like understaffing in the GPs, I think the question of if I wanted to become a doctor, for example, I just graduated from uni. In order for me to become a doctor, I need to study for 5 years, go through a multiple amount of exams in order to achieve that final goal. So kind of becoming a doctor, so no new doctors are really coming in and more are leaving. So we kind of get that overwhelming feeling of, you know, that we're understaffed constantly. So maybe there should be programs that allow students to kind of not get into the doctor world easier, but kind of encourage them in a way that doesn't kind of overwhelm them. Knowing you have to study for 5 years and constantly do exams, maybe there is a better way to kind of get students to become doctors without so
I mean, what would that be? I mean, like, we've got representatives of younger generation here. I mean, as computer gaming, can you do like a kind of virtual operation just to kind of entice people to become doctors? I mean, I don't know. How would you get people to become doctors? How would you incentivize them?
Well, with the virtual thing, it's probably not the best way, because like, if some of you seen how, like, even how advanced they are, it's still not accurate. For example, just having one of those virtual realities training sessions is probably a lot of money anyways, because if you were doing that, you would have to get lots of like sensors and all sorts. You can't just have the VR headset and then the controllers as your hands, because it's not really hands, but
so it'd be quite expensive to put on these kind of like virtual training things. Okay, right, so it's a really good point. Was that the point that you were going to make earlier? Do you remember your earlier point? We were talking about GPs and that kind of stuff.
No, I don't know.
Fair enough. Do you know what I mean? I forgot what the conversation was before that, but I mean, this is where we're at. I mean, how do you incentivize people to become GPs? It's 5 years of study, like Amir is saying, and it's pretty tough. Mike,
just to warn you, I am a GP.
Although I retired 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? What?
No, you do need it because
You incentivise people by making it a really enjoyable job. So you go to med school, you kill yourself, you get A grades, everything. You spend 5 years killing yourself. You spend 4 years in hospital medicine doing 80-odd hour weeks. You're absolutely shattered. You go and be a GP, and it's just the same. It doesn't get easier; it gets worse. So you think it's got to make the job doable. And that's the thing. So there aren't enough of us. The poor patients need so much stuff. The world isn't structured to look after people well enough. I think that's the problem. What people need, we can't give. They don't just need medicine; they need other things. We're working together on this wellness project about giving people other things, like they need community and friends and connections and hobbies and healthy things to do and things they can afford to do, and all these things. And they won't make the massive difference, because there's lots of sick people too that actually need a doctor. But when I was working, 30% of people I saw didn't need me. They needed to see somebody
Just
to
someone,
talk to, and they were lonely. So there's loads of stuff that could be done, and then we end up doing a job we're not trained to do. We end up having to also be a pastoral role, which is very nice and satisfying, and I loved it. But also then you're swamped with everything, because there's nobody else picking that up, which there used to be. There used to be community. So I think you've got to make it.
Right. So is the GP training just a bit too focused on like doing work in hospitals? But actually, you should be doing counselling part of your training.
We get trained in everything. We don't.
Okay. Right.
We're not trained counsellors. We're not trained as counsellors. We just train. We pick it up on the job, because you spend 36 people every day all week. You see that's minimum. You see, so you get used to people and you get used to connecting with people. So that's kind of what you try and do, but you're not really.
But you know what? I don't mean to interrupt you, but I just did anyway. Just because you made me think of something we were talking about earlier. You know, I know. I'm so sorry. I need some training at not interrupting people. Maybe. Yeah, Mike is saying yes. Okay, great, thank you. No, because we were talking about dating before, and dating is about meeting people. And actually, people were saying like, oh, actually, a supermarket is a good place to meet someone. But as a GP, as there's loads of people coming through the door, could you be a bit of a matchmaker as well? Could you branch out? Yeah, like if somebody needs to talk to someone. Mikey?
Well, I mean, being a GP is a bit like being going speed dating, because you've got like 5 minutes. Whenever I go to my GP, it's like, right, you can only tell me about one thing. You've got 5 minutes. Start now. And then you're like, and it's like 5 minutes. I've waited months for this appointment. And I was like, oh, I've got 5 minutes. And it is like speed dating. I mean, maybe we live in this kind of fast world, but from my perspective, most of the things that GPs do is about. It's a very, very, as you say, important job, but it is about talking to people and counselling people and giving them advice. I mean, both my parents were GPs, and that put me off because they just came home knackered every night. So, but what my dad said, he actually ended up becoming a psychiatrist, because that was what he was doing most of the time, was psychological or psychiatric work 90% of the time.
I mean, you were nodding. I mean, do you know anything about this? Is this all completely alien to you, this whole GP chat? It's
very alien.
Yeah, okay, right. I mean, what are your views on this?
So I'm a health and wellbeing coach, and I work across all the practices on the island. Mike's my clinical lead, actually.
Hey.
And Kabung is my manager. But one of the things I know from the people that come to see me, so I work with people who've got stress and anxiety and pain, and I'm kind of a life coach as well, is that I get a lot of people who live on the island who are young, work in the finance sector, work for the civil service, very lonely. And actually trying to find a way to connect them, which is what we were literally just talking about, is one of the things that we want to do, because generally people just want to meet somebody, a friend or a partner, whichever, it doesn't really matter. But actually how you get that now is very difficult, partly because people have become so locked down and they've lost a lot of the social skills that they had. And also people feel quite vulnerable. So we're just thinking, actually, one of my jokes has always been that I think we should set up a dating agency.
Well, that's a very interesting.
We've talked about it. Yeah, we have talked about it.
Conjecture. Okay, right. So, I mean, Kabung, do you feel the same? I mean, like, can GP practice be more than GP practice? A bit more kind of like wholesome in terms of,
Yeah. I mean, this is something that we are working with on the island. It's actually to have an extension of what the GP services are, and because people are just so used to, you go to the GP because you need an appointment with the GP, right? But we're saying, actually, there are other support that is available that can help you with your health and well-being. and there are quite a lot of conditions also that is manageable. You know, that you can manage them yourself, and it's really about enabling people to have the right information and the right tools to be able to do that, and also put them in groups as well that can support them, because you need peer support, you need friends, you need people around you that's going to help you, you know, whether it's stick to a program or just to help improve your health and just have that social connection. You know, that enables you also to really have a sense of confidence to be able to manage things yourself. And then obviously there's the medical issues that only a GP can deal with, and those ones should then be given directly to GPs so that they're not overwhelmed as well. So I think that's the thing where we help practitioners by helping ourselves as well at the same time.
So kind of opening it up, it's almost like two-prong approach. One is just creating like a situation where people can be social with each other, just like rebuild those kind of social skills that maybe we've lost through COVID and maybe through the pressures of working in the city. I mean, like, is loneliness something that you guys, I mean, you come from a kind of business background. I mean, is that something that they talk to you on at the studies that you did?
I think for me,
you're going to earn loads of money, but you're going to be lonely. Is that cool?
I think for me personally, I think because obviously I went into uni just before the whole lockdown started, so I was really eager to meet people, excited. And first year I met a lot of people, and then you go into lockdown, and then all of the kind of hard work gets undone. And then I went into third year where things kind of get normalised again, but you just don't have the kind of same energy you did. So I kind of just like, I'm going to finish my degree and move on. I think you guys know Patrick as well, so his main module was teaching about mentoring and coaching and how the methods of how we should communicate to people and little stuff like that. And you kind of, all that kind of social practice that you have, you've lost it over the last year and a half, and it is kind of building that kind of confidence up again, which I kind of feel is difficult. But projects like this, like me getting involved in this, definitely does help. And what you guys do, sitting around the table, offering your services, this kind of thing does kind of build people up again, which I feel like is really important.
Should we bring Talkaoke table to your practice? Is the question on everybody's lips right now. But thank you, Amir. So actually, real life chatting it's an interesting, it's just something that can help us rebuild those skills.
We talked a lot today about the COVID pandemic, but I do think as well, partly because of the COVID pandemic, there is a pandemic of anxiety, and we talk to a lot of young people on Talkaoke, and that experience of, for example, going to university but having to do it online, or you know, not having the social skills then to, not people like Amir, but other people go out into the world. There is a lot of anxiety out there, and it seems to be growing. That's what we're picking up on the Talkaoke table, and it's like, it's not, I mean, it's a sort of half, I feel anyway, it's a half medical, but it's also a kind of social issue, and it's a cultural issue as well, because I think our culture, you know, thrives actually on creating stress and anxiety in order to, you know, make the cash.
I mean, what do you think about this kind of theory? I mean, is our culture actually set up to induce extra anxiety? I mean, are you an anxious person?
I'm anxious when it comes to like doing new things. For example, like talking to people that I have like never met before, something like that, and or even like doing something new. For example, if I was going to stay at a friend's house for like the first time, you would feel kind of anxious, like, oh, what's going to happen or anything.
And
but
what helps you getting over that then? What makes it easier?
To be honest, just doing it, like just kind of getting over and done with, and then most of the time it ends up good in at the last bit. So yeah.
Okay, so just doing it. I mean, but how do you get people from, you know, from complete isolation to actually making the first step?
I think it's sometimes going outside your comfort zone. So one thing I realise is that when I leave London, I'm so good. I feel really good. I don't know if anybody else does, but it just feels amazing. You just think, I can't hear any sirens. I can't hear anything like anybody speeding past or anything. It's so peaceful. You forget what it sounds like. Yeah. Oh, there we go. And then as soon as I'm coming into London, I'm just kind of like, I feel different. And it's kind of, you feel the stress, you feel the fast pace. Outside it's very different, people are nicer. But I think it is that, like, the city is really inducing a lot of stress. And we're trying to cope, we're trying to have coping mechanisms all around us that would just help us kind of, because everybody's dealing with the same thing, but how do we kind of
But you know what, earlier on we were talking about, do we actually prioritize our own health? And you guys are GPs. How do you prioritize your own health? Because it sounds like you're doing a lot of thinking about how to kind of get better. Obviously, you go outside of London just to kind of chill out when you can. But I mean, like, how do you look after your own health and well-being? Do you? Maybe you don't.
I do. I'm not a GP.
Okay, right. Yes, of course. Yeah, sorry, Ron.
I'm a health coach.
Yeah.
So most of the people that come through my doors have got very high levels of anxiety and have no connection to how their mind and body works. So they're very disconnected. So we're taught from a very early age. I think, therefore I am. So you're taught to work from here, but you're completely disconnected from what's going on here. So part of my job is to allow people to feel. So once you start to feel, you can start to do stuff. But most people are afraid of feeling because we're taught that being emotional is a bit weak.
Right.
So especially men who I see have spent a long time being completely disassociated from their emotional self and living up here. And then all of a sudden everything's collapsing and they wonder why they've got lots of pain or why they've got alcohol issues or why they're, taking drugs or whatever it is.
Do you mind if I just ask this man? Hello, man. You just walked into our talk show, thank you. Are you ruled by your head or by your feelings, is the question on everybody's lips. We're just wondering about that.
For me, it would be... Do I have to speak?
Yeah, just grab a mic, yeah.
It would be definitely feelings.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How did you make... Because Tracy here is saying that being a health coach, she sees a lot of men coming through the door going like, I am not connected. The society told me, think with my head, emotions are disconnected.
Sure.
But you're not like that. What did you do differently?
Difficult to really explain. I'm not too sure. Just
gut or your head?
Definitely gut.
Yeah.
100%. And they usually...
Most people are completely disconnected between those three things.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Follow the head, follow the heart, or follow the
Yeah.
gut. And actually the job is to connect all three.
Yeah.
Because if you make a decision from the gut...
Tracy, you know the rules.
If you make a decision from the gut, then that might lead you in one direction and your head might then come along and go, actually, we shouldn't have done that. And you start to doubt yourself, you start to put judgment. If you follow your heart, without those two connections, your chances are you're going to lead a different way, and then your gut's going to come in and go, oh, I'm not sure about this, and your head's going to start questioning you, and then you bring in judgment. So if you can centre yourself and be in connection with all of those three things, that's when you make a decent decision.
So you know what I really like about this, right, is just we were talking about how to kind of help GPs to kind of spread out what they do, kind of like pass it on to other experts, and we're kind of doing that now, just getting free advice from Tracy. I quite like that actually, out in the open air. Maybe that's what should happen as well. Yeah, no, but I mean, I do wonder. Thank you. I do wonder, like, what is there anything about like your other men in your life, your male friends? I mean, are they like you or?
Yeah, I think they tend to be... a lot of people, obviously you attract people similar to you.
Yeah.
I do tend to go with my gut, but sort of like, as you said, I tend to procrastinate a lot as well. So it's always a constant battle between head, heart and your gut. Usually the gut is always right, from my experience anyway.
What's your name, by the way? Oh, that's gut sound effect. It's just we had one actually. Yeah. What's your name?
Rahul.
Rahul, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Margot. This is Mike, Tracy, Kabung, Mikey, Louise, Ala, Amir, Vanessa, and Ian, who's going to be a future GP.
Nephew.
Yeah. Well, so you know all about it. So you're very lucky to have this man in your family. Right. Okay, so this is kind of what we're talking about. Like, grab a seat. I mean, like, you're almost finishing now, aren't you?
Yeah, so I'm just going to quickly
Yeah.
go around and help.
Right.
help run, yeah.
Okay. Any final thoughts, people? Because obviously, I think everyone's going now.
You've got enough time. You've got 20 minutes.
Oh yeah, but you're going, so it's not the same without you guys, obviously, and without you,
Yeah,
Rahul.
no,
So
definitely.
give us your
So-
final thought or initial thought. Oh, thank you for this sound. Was that for me? Oh, okay, right.
Final thoughts on
anything that you've done today, anything maybe about how to get people active or anything at all.
So, learn a lot about health and well-being, a lot
Yeah.
of what the council has to offer.
Right.
So, I was sort of particularly interested in the sort of stop smoking. So, and
Are you a
affects me.
smoker?
Vape.
Okay.
So,
Is it as bad as, sorry, GPs, is it as bad as smoking, vaping? Is it?
Pretty much,
Okay, so
yeah,
there was a
pretty
good
much.
advice you got
Yeah,
from there.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
yeah. So, because I stopped smoking and then just sort of swapped it over for
Yeah.
another addiction.
Okay.
So
So next step is to eliminate all of it.
It's completely stop. Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully, so I found that quite helpful. Gave them my details. I didn't even know. I wish I came here a bit earlier.
Yeah.
I wish I
Oh,
came here
right.
earlier. I would have really enjoyed this.
Well, listen, you guys probably, I don't know if you're involved in the next ones, but we're doing 6 of those. Oh, well, then come to the next one.
Sure.
Yeah, Bartlett Park, Poplar Union, grab this card, it's all online, but thank you so much for stopping by. All right. Final thought or final advice? Keep it, yeah. No, everyone's going to give
Teach
one.
yourself to be centred.
Teach yourself to be centered, great. Oh, no, that was actually definitely that. Okay, come on, anything from you? Okay, you're thinking, okay, Mike.
Be kind to each other.
Be kind to each other, yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just let it flow.
Connect with people.
Connect with people outside of London as well as in inner London. Excellent. Ella?
Like, stay healthy, socialize with people, and stay hydrated.
Stay hydrated, and we wish you all the best with your back. I hope the appointment actually does the trick. So thank you so much for stopping by. We will be at the next one. Are you off as well?
Yep.
Okay. Final thoughts?
Stay happy, stay healthy, and have a good day.
Fantastic, thank you very much. Thank you for bringing so much into the Talkaoke table. Enjoy the rest of whatever you're doing. That's Saturday, probably, living during Saturday. Okay, you can come and join if you want to, but it sounds like you're chilling there. It looks like a pretty good spot. You're walking all day, so it's really nice to rest your legs. Oh my days, okay, so are you a walker? Is that just something, do you do it every day? Every day. Okay, so we've got a seasoned walker over there, Mikey.
That's more where we're based, over near Criff Street. We're on
that's
Aberfeldy
more our
Street.
end,
Just
actually, yeah.
it's our side. You walked over, but it's a long way to walk in this heat.
Yeah. What are your tips on doing walking in the scorchingly hot weather? What do you do to help you? Hydration. Well, yeah. What about the shoes? Yesterday we were talking. I'm not supposed to bring new facts, but we were talking about footwear yesterday. But yeah. So what's your footwear? Oh, you've got very stylish footwear. Is it good for walking?
It is and it isn't. But if you know what you're walking, if you know how long you're going to be, just don't rush.
Okay, just take it slow. Don't rush. I think it's a good advice, like all round in general. I think we kind of also.
That's kind of what we've done here, really, as well. We've just kind of taken it slowly, sucked it up, soaked it up.
Yeah.
And I think we're coming to the end. It's been a very revealing and informative day today, and I think the pets conversation was kind of interesting as well.
Yeah, the pets. Let's just like rewind.
Okay. Well, let's just undo the full rewind sound.
Remember, we go with Laura's visualization.
Let's have a look at the visuals. Yeah.
Genau. That's good.
Double that.
That's good. Double that. So that's 17,000 on the stepometer.
That's every day.
What do you call a stepometer? Step counter?
I think it is. I don't know.
Stepometer. Yeah, well, that's pretty impressive.
One time I was 3 times that size with a. I used to,
grab this one.
Well,
Alright.
3 times I was just constantly not doing nothing, being lazy, going around in the car.
One of the things we're asking is what makes people change.
You know what it is? Last year.
Grab this.
Last year I lost my dad, and I thought I'd just take up an idea and just go walking because I used to travel around. I used to travel around in the car with him quite a lot. But then when he got ill, that was it.
So in a way,
and then he died.
dedicated to your dad.
Yeah. Because then when he had a stroke, then he got ill and then he died of heart disease.
But you know what? This is really interesting. Like when you exercise, you just exercise not just for how you look or whatever. You actually put intention into it. I quite really enjoy that idea. Thank you. What's your name?
My name's Simon.
Simon. Oh right, so you're local. Cool. All right, Simon. Mikey, you wanted to add something?
No, it's just that I just started doing yoga, as some people know. And that in the beginning of yoga, they say dedicate this yoga session to someone. I think it's a really good idea.
Yeah.
And I always dedicate it to like a different person.
All right. I mean, I wonder. I mean, do you guys dedicate, like for instance, a Talkaoke session or something that you do to another person? Yeah.
I mean, for me, I think since a young age, you kind of always want to make your parents proud. So me applying to job roles and then seeing me, even say, like, away going to Canary Wharf, you see them like light up, you know, like working in an area that's quite rich and that kind of thing. So yeah, no, just kind of having that kind of internal motivation does tend to drive you. Kind of got me through uni. Kind of, I think everyone who achieves anything in their life, it's selfish of you to assume that it's not because of people around you. I think my parents have always been the kind of that light in my life, helping me with assignments, helping me not like typing up, but like I come home, there's a meal for me, my bed's warm for me.
They created a space for you to
So I think having that kind of environment is always something lovely, and I think we should always dedicate our success to the people that we care about.
That's really cool. I mean, could you dedicate exercise or like some kind of physical activity to your parents, like Simon did? Oh, bless.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
for example, like me, I play sports with my dad, so that kind of thing where it helps with bonding and helps him get fitter because he works 9 to 5. He drives up to Surrey every day and kind of comes back, so he kind of sitting around to giving him that kind of chance to do exercise with me. Definitely kind of, you know, it builds him up a little bit, kind of makes him feel better about himself, and I feel like I'm bonding with my dad every other day, so it's quite nice.
Oh, that's cool, doing sports with your parents. Like you went on like car trips with your dad and now you kind of go on walks with your dad in your thoughts kind of thing. Thanks, Amir. Do you dedicate anything, like do you have that kind of inner motive to when you do something good that's good for you?
I agree with Amir in a lot of that, for sure, especially if you're lucky enough to have, you know, good parents, that they're always there for you. But it doesn't have to be parents only, whoever is your, you know, main support system. And you should also do things for yourself, you know, like I feel like you're your stable company forever and ever, so it should be that and whoever is important as well.
Oh, great. Thank you, Vanessa. Louise, what about you? Do you dedicate parts of your life to other people, like your parents or, you know?
Maybe not intentionally or consciously, but I think maybe more subconsciously there's always a drive to kind of be the best person I can be for myself, for my parents, for my ancestors, so more subconscious, I guess.
Okay, so it's kind of like coming through subconsciously. Laura, are there any people that you want to make proud through your actions? Thank you, Mikey, for stretching this mic so far.
Thank you. I think yes, but also kind of, you know, I find it a little bit tricky because we want to make other people, like our parents, for example, proud, but sometimes we will never get there. And I know for a lot of people, it's a difficult thing that they always try to kind of make someone proud, and they feel like they always fail or something like that. So I rather focus on just kind of making myself proud of things that I do, and as was said, I don't remember the lady who was saying that, her name here, but she was saying that you have to take care of yourself first to be for the other people. So I dedicate work on myself for other people as well. So by focusing on myself, I know I'll be better for them as well. So I guess it's a kind of like with yoga. You do yoga to become stronger, and then you are better for other people at the same time, because you can just handle more shit.
Nice.
Mentally and physically.
Nice. And it's a really good point that sometimes people's ideas of like what is, you know, success are different to yours, and maybe you will always be on a kind of, you know, out of sync. But yes, Mikey, have you got any burning?
Let's dedicate this session to dads all over the place, the ones that are still here and the ones that have passed. Let's dedicate them.
this session to all of them.
Turn the camera.
Okay. No.
So this session goes out to all the dads out there.
Yeah.
Current,
Yeah.
future,
On
those
earth and
who
in
are-
heaven.
Yeah, those in heaven or wherever
Yeah.
they are right now. Dads, we've got you. That goes to my dad as well.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
somewhere.
Exactly. But we should have a quick look at the visuals before we
Yes.
just close this down, and then yeah.
Right, Simon, can you see the screen okay from this angle?
Yeah, and does anyone want ice creams? Because Larissa's going to go and get.
with chocolate. Ice cream with chocolate. Oh, shucks.
It's gone. The man's gone.
ice cream.
No.
Do you know the ice cream man? All right, can we get a deal? Can he reopen for us?
Okay,
All right.
let's just talk faster. Let's get to the
okay, here we
visuals.
go. Let's do that. Okay.
Well, we go backwards because it's too much work.
Okay,
so
we're doing
that's the most
visuals.
recent. Do I talk or do I just?
No guts, no glory.
Up to you.
Laura.
Yeah, that was just the quickest one at the end of what you were talking about, because I was really focused on the speed dating.
Yes.
So I couldn't do anything else. So that was that.
So this is speed dating between a doctor and a patient.
Yeah, I couldn't find a good image really to show it.
But I like it, I love it.
I didn't want to put two doctors so it doesn't insinuate that they are dating each other. But basically, you know, if you ever been in a hospital, every doctor does around around the rooms, so it's kind of like that. And then when you don't have a time to go to the actual GP, you always have a GP.
Is it forever emerging?
Yeah. That was about the gaming kind of
eye-checking game,
and also just how we kind of don't improve our eyesight by playing games on tiny screens or working on tiny computers or writing dissertations and things like this. Here we have the kind of a transformation of a lady who was tired, and then through climbing through food climbing, healthy path up to the healthy living, I guess. So lots of veggies. Oh, she's here.
Oh, this is like the opposite. This is like the donut central.
Yes, that's the kind of being dipped in the gold when you can afford great dental care, good medicines, not healthy donuts, and
nice one.
All this kind of stuff.
What is the golden person about?
They're dipped in gold.
Dipped in gold. Yeah,
Edible.
because I have issue with those images with money, because you can't find it with pounds. It's just American dollars, so kind of, and it's also more a kind of abstract concept of just being dipped in gold rather just having a lot of money.
Oh, I love this one.
They asked the dating story, how they've met on a dog walk and decided to go on a date to Asda.
Well, it's 24 hours, so yeah, Asda B, yeah.
We have how to teach your dogs and your kids similar good behaviors.
Nice. And geography is
Yeah,
something I
because
benefit
you might say kids and dogs are not the same, but essentially this is what people are replacing kids with these days, because apparently having dogs is a little bit more environmentally friendly than having a kid.
Alright.
But that's another subject. Here's a little bit about smelling and eating.
Oh yeah.
That was my point that I didn't make, that kids love to smudge food around their mouth because they still have the taste receptors around. They are not fully closed yet, so they can taste more. Yes.
I swear Mikey has that as well.
Here's the invisible stretching on the street.
Love it. No, it's like when I was on I was saying that was when I was saying when I'm on a train, I kind of try to stretch and loosen my jaw.
This is my interpretation of
I love it.
Some things, because obviously I can't fully focused, but this moved a little bit. But this is the brave spider, as we know.
Yeah. What are spiders afraid of?
Oh, yes. Or a spider afraid of, sorry.
And it's the experience.
Crowded swimming
are you
pool.
afraid of them?
And mum saying no.
Okay, that's different.
That was something about us being too comfortable after COVID to get outside to the... Oh, that was a little bit mixed up. Yeah, that was kind of... Those two were related.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a bit too much.
And here we have the Isle of Dogs, trendy. Up. And Specsavers. Yes. So that was the very first one, and here we are. Thank you.
Well, a massive round of applause for Laura. I think these are absolutely brilliant. I'd like to give a round of applause to Larice, being on the iPads today, and being stitched on the outside. And thank you guys on the outside. And Simon, obviously thanks to you, we have got someone to close the session with. So thank you for bringing the intention to this Talkaoke. That's it. The end.